was nowhere near as uniform and intimidating as it was in the 1920s.
That's pretty hard to
mobilizing that.
That's pretty hard to deny. You know.
Look at this guy. Just
yeah. Well, that guy actually. Speaking of denial.
oh my god.
That's what's so crazy, dude. Germany sucks so much that they like have all of these like anti-Nazi laws and shit, and they're so busy using it against like literally anti-Nazi, anti-Israel, pro-Palestinian, anti-protesters. All right, let's watch this. The new aesthetics of fascism from it's been a minute, okay?
Never again. That's what we Germans always tell ourselves. This should never happen again. And it surely won't, right? I mean, we now know how fascism looks like. World War II changed the game.
Wait, maybe it's not been a minute.
That's why it's time for
World War II
redesign.
changed the game.
A friendlier and more quiet form of fascism that slowly creeps its way into society. Remember, fascism does not equal fascism, but the aestheticization of politics remains. In a way that doesn't come with aggressive militarism, but in a disguise of technocratic bureaucracy, corporate control, and manufactured media staging. Welcome to the age of friendly fascism. Modern fascist aesthetic is therefore incredibly hard to spot, as there's no historical blueprint I can point at, while in the past fascism.
This guy's accent is too German for me. Like, low-key, I'm kind of shocked that he's like this heavy-handed against Israel. It's just unexpected. You know what I mean? I normally, when I hear that accent, my expectation immediately is someone who is going to tell me with all sincerity that, you know, comparing what Israel's doing to the Nazis is so disrespectful to my grandfather. Leave us Germans alone, bro. Bro, you know those, okay? You know those, you live with them. They come in here every time I make that comparison to tell me. I mean, this guy's not like that. This guy's not like that at all. Which is, he's Japanese German? Oh my God. Okay, let's see.
Ideologies
He's clearly anti-Zionist. I'm just saying, I'm shocked.
are more clearly unified and bundled and presented in one ideology. Today there are countless splitter movements that may differ in various aspects, but still have clear fascist characteristics in their ideology and therefore optics. The debate about whether this or that can ultimately be attributed to fascism is, in my opinion, at least not really relevant, as the debate about a definition only distracts from what is currently happening. I will now show you specific visual aspects, especially in Western contexts, which I believe show ideological connections to traditional fascism. The best thing I can do here is to let the aesthetics speak for themselves. The neo-futurist art movement has...
Germany has beaten racism and anti-Semitism. The best Western society. Oh. Oh, that's good, bro. That's the funniest thing I've heard from Chad today. Respect. Oh man. Yeah. Oh, great. That was cool. Thank you.
No connection to as it did back then. No glorification of violence, war, and macho culture. What overlaps though, however, is the idea of a utopia driven by technological progress, aesthetically represented in minimalism, dynamic curves, coldness, and futuristic sci-fi looks, speed, and momentum. So it's no wonder that many Silicon Valley companies in particular are adopting this aesthetic. I do see a philosophical connection between the early 1900s futurists and today's tech bros. The desire for a future in which technology will save the world.
And it's time to rebuild America.
There is a cult surrounding tech bros like Musk and Zuckerberg. Beyond just their wealth, the whole techno-optimist mindset helped foster a culture where these absolute losers could be idolized.
Okay, I love this guy.
Libertarians like Musk, Zuckerberg, Bezos, and Thiel also clearly reflect the macho culture, as was the case in classic futurism.
How does it feel being on the other side, reacting?
That
I don't
like
know.
celebrates the
Weird.
aggression a bit
Like
more,
looking in the damn
has its
mirror.
own merits that are really positive.
I don't know
It's
what to
one
add.
thing to say we want to
Just
be
keep
kind
cooking.
of like welcoming and make a good environment for everyone, and I think it's another to basically say that masculinity is bad.
If you take a closer look at the glorification of war, the glorification is striking when you look at companies like Peter Thiel's Palantir. The ties between Silicon Valley and the military-industrial complex run very deep. A tech utopia, led by strong men. The glorification of power, progress, masculinity, and military dominance now comes in a context of
What did he make that he made the Art of HasanAbi 3 years ago.
Whoa, HasanAbi head.
Yeah, no, he is. That's why he's
Is he in the chat? Or like, have you seen him before or something? in the chat?
I mean clearly I probably watched that.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's not. Sometimes there's people that will watch and then will turn into haters after years, especially if there's like one issue that they really care about. I've seen people that used to be fans that like turned into major haters after October 7th, for example. But this guy isn't one of them, clearly. But I don't know if he's been in the chat recently. Hasan, you're spoiling the video. Oh no, he's in here. He's literally in here.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, he linked his video.
Oh, wait, but he's saying don't.
Yeah. You're spoiling the video. You're spoiling the video. And
war.
Then, okay.
Wait,
Hell
so
yeah.
don't watch it, or what does he mean? Oh, just
No.
don't talk. Let it
I was
play.
he's making a joke. I was talking about something that he covered as well, I think. That's why.
Oh, from 3
Slick
years ago.
minimalist corporate advertising or image campaigns rather than the avant-garde art movement of futurism. Imagine a tech-driven future in which corporations rule the world, climate change destroyed entire cities, fixed social hierarchy.
Ben, tell him there's a part 1. Okay, calm down, man. This is 40 minutes long and it's really good. Okay? Calm down and go subscribe. Shut up and go subscribe. Put the subscription in the bag, chatter.
Exist, and Ryan Gosling slowly bleeding to death. I think we can all agree cyberpunk might look cool, but is a future nobody really wants. So how do I sell a future that will most likely happen, but with a less dystopian look? You've seen the line, right?
He told me he hates you now because you're a Germany slander. No, he's been a HasanAbi head for that long. He has heard me shit on Germany in the same exact way because liberal Germans are unbearable. Okay. And he is not a liberal. Clearly, he's an anti-Zionist. He's an anti-fascist and not the anti-Deutsche kind. Okay. The anti-Deutsche anti-fascists are so funny. I mean, they're freaks, but still funny regardless.
That's Solarpunk. Solarpunk is meant to be the optimistic counterpart to cyberpunk, a utopian aesthetic where nature and technology coexist in harmony. It combines tradition, conservatism, and polished tech futurism at the same time. Solarpunk does indeed represent a certain counter-movement to neo-fascist concepts, but there are dangerous tendencies into which the aesthetic could drift off. In the context of the so-called eco-fascism, authoritarian forces can be misused to emphasize blood and soil nationalism, population control, and racialized conservation. The danger is that the aesthetic of harmony with nature can be repurposed for exclusionary or nationalistic goals, an aesthetic that is used by nations such as Saudi Arabia or Israel. A polished visual world that is intended to whitewash the blood of regimes. An attempt to erase bad PR after entire populations have been erased. Solarpunk is an excellent Trojan horse to maintain the illusion of a tech utopia and to sell the people a beautiful image that's worth aspiring to and fighting for. This aesthetic takes on fascist traits when the utopian imagery basically only depicts white people, relies on Eurocentric aesthetics, or presents colonialist imagery. That utopia becomes worth expanding for. Basically Helldivers.
And spread managed democracy throughout the galaxy. Become a hero. Become a legend. Become a Helldiver.
Helldivers is so great, but it's also yet another instance where, like, no matter how hard you try as a content creator, as an artist, to literally be like, I'm making fun of you. This is me making fun of how stupid your worldview is. The people who are being made fun of go, nah, dude, you made me look sick.
This is awesome. Did the right wing guys like Helldivers? Like
the only time where they got mad at Helldivers was basically when they were like allowed the trans flag to exist in the game or something. And people were like, what the fuck? Helldivers is woke. It's like, dude, yeah, of course it's woke. It's making fun of you. It's so stupid. I just hate how stupid right wingers.
Just very, very dumb.
I hate how stupid right wingers are because there's like comes from being that dumb where you just have so much. One, you have more fun in general, and that pisses me off. Okay, and two, you get to interpret things in a way that suits your purpose every day of the week, and it doesn't matter. You will never be told that you're wrong. You will never hear that. Or if you hear that, you can just, because you're a dumbass, you can just turn around and be like, should I reflect on this? No. This person is woke and gay. Boom. Over. Done.
I saw like a few days ago, a tweet went viral of a guy posting a picture of the general from Avatar, like the comically evil general that just kills all the Na'vi and is trying to like aid the colonization for like a corporation. And it was super viral because he was like, if you thought this was the bad guy in the movie, you're a dumbass. And it's like, oh my God. Like you could not craft a more comically evil character in a movie.
Yeah. He wasn't even like complex.
No.
He wasn't even
like, I didn't like the movie for reasons like that it's like comically evil.
Okay,
like,
well, let's not go that far.
You're an Avatar guy.
Coming after the goat like that.
No, I'm a JC head, but I
exactly James Cameron, Jesus Christ, who knows?
I'm not a cultist, you know.
No, I'm kidding. I just like good movies, big movies. I'm a fan.
Yeah, like Godzilla versus King Kong and stuff like that.
I have not watched Godzilla versus King Kong.
It's pretty cool. It's like a big lizard and a big
ape.
Yeah, they're just hashing it out.
It's what was I gonna say about that? Fuck. Well, James Cameron is also kind of ass. Let's be real, because he did the he's personally working with the Trump administration. I think he did. Didn't JC do a ad for Trump or something? Am I crazy?
That's wild. I didn't hear about that. Somebody wrote Spike Lee?
No, I think he did. It was Michael Bay that did an ad, but James Cameron did something as well. Michael Bay did the ad, which is unsurprising. Michael Bay did an ad for Secret Service, but James Cameron did something with Trump that was weird. Never mind.
Different guy.
Never mind. He's actually slamming Trump. What did James Cameron do?
Alien 2? Aliens?
No. What did he do that was like shocking? Nothing. You're just a hater. No, I like James Cameron. I can't remember. I just remember in the back of my mind right now, it's not that big of a deal, but I remember seeing something that James Cameron did that pertained to Donald Trump that I thought was like kind of weird. Like it was kind of like weirdly aligning with Trump. He divorced Catherine Bigelow. No, it wasn't this. Terminator creator James Cameron joins board of AI company. No. I mean, that's lame, but that wasn't it.
That's funny though. And bad.
Yeah.
How do we get? Oh yeah, the Avatar tweet.
All right.
My baby's first sunlock.
Back to video.
That tech plays an almost religious role in Silicon Valley is not groundbreaking, especially when tech and consumer fetishism come together. Luckily, the tech bro cult isn't political at all.
The guy who
That's what they're saying.
Your editing is really good, Ben, if you're listening.
The MAGA movement clearly has aesthetic similarities to cult-like structures. A selected messianic leader who will return America to its former glory and bring the elites to justice.
With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. I am your voice. Today I add, I am your warrior. I am your justice. And for those who have been wronged and betrayed, I am your retribution. I am your retribution.
Of course, it's not just MAGA. Look at the AfD's Björn Höcke, for example. The aestheticization is just nowhere near as uniform and intimidating as it was in the 1920s.
That's pretty hard to
mobilizing that.
That's pretty hard to deny. You know.
Look at this guy. Just
yeah. Well, that guy actually. Speaking of denial.
Oh my God.
That's what's so crazy, dude. Germany sucks so much dick that they like have all of these like anti-Nazi laws and shit, and they're so busy using it against like literally anti-Nazi, anti-Israel, pro-Palestinian, anti-genocide protesters. Meanwhile, the AFD is just cooking, dude. The AFD is just basically saying we are Nazis within the confines of what the German legal system allows us to be.
I don't know a whole lot about the AFD, but from what
Alternative
I've
for
seen,
Deutschland. Yeah.
bad stuff.
They are going to ban the AFD. No other Western democracy did that. I mean, Macron kind of did that. I just wish these guys wouldn't like use this as an opportunity to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that and then like go after the left as well. But I don't think they're going to be able to ban them.
That way simply wouldn't work nowadays anymore. Numerous neo-fascist movements either collapsed or never gained momentum because of that. But the mystical nonsense is still there. Similar to 1930s Nazi rhetoric of the Jewish world conspiracy, modern fascism is dependent on conspiracy theories and vice versa. They are mutually reinforcing systems. Conspiracism supplies the emotional fuel, while fascist movements channel that fuel into political action. The rise of digital ecosystems has accelerated this feedback loop, making conspiracy-driven neo-fascism a growing global threat to democratic stability. In the US, far-right movements strongly overlap with Christian fundamentalism, or in India, Hindu fundamentalism, in Afghanistan, Islamic fundamentalism, and in Israel, Jewish fundamentalism.
T-Chan spent 100 bits, so we have to read this, okay?
Ooh.
Bruh, you talking about Helldivers making fun of right-wing supporters is the dumbest take on anything I've ever seen. Ain't no way you think a game that keeps the same aesthetics from the first one 10 years later is a play on words to make fun of the people politically because God forbid you think people outside of your community not be smarter than a thumbtack. Go ahead and prove me right and ban me because you can't handle a little opposition and terrible one side and blind take. This guy thinks that right-wingers were invented in the last 10 years.
Yeah, he's right. And he owned you by saying you're going to ban him. Are you going to ban him?
No, of course not. I love people like this. These are my favorite types of people, bro.
Oh
They're
my
so
God.
stupid and so funny. Yeah, no, I hope he unfollowed too. He just gave money and dipped. Oh man.
Wow, coward. I like the
Yeah.
I like the
no,
echo
he
chamber
literally
thing.
thinks that the first like I didn't even play the first Helldivers, but if it's exactly the same as the second one, I suspect, considering that they tailored this so closely to Starship Troopers, they are making fun of right-wing fascism. They are making fun of ultranationalism. They are making fun of patriotism and how patriotism is a mechanism that makes men into cattle to do violent things at the behest of mega corporations and corporate profits. Starship Troopers is pro right-wing through. Super Troopers is pro right-wing. Oh, you don't mean Starship Troopers, you mean Super Troopers. I don't think Super Troopers is pro right-wing. What the isn't it? Super Troopers is like making fun of cops, no? Am I misremembering? Was that the movie?
Super Troopers is like the cops being silly guys, kind of.
Yeah, it's a satire about how stupid cops are. Starship Troopers the book is a pro-fascist book. This is true. Starship Troopers the movie, which is what everyone knows. They don't know the book.
They remixed it to make it normal.
Yeah, the book is pro-fascist. The movie makes fun of the book.
Did that guy try and sue him? Probably, maybe. Or
I
is
don't know.
he dead?
He might be dead.
Yeah.
This guy, I love this guy. I wish you didn't unfollow so we could, brother. If you subscribe, you can still speak in the chat, and you don't have to wait another a full day. Because wait, is this yours, right?
Yeah.
I would love to hear your feedback on this.
Seems like it's just a guy who's a little confused.
T-Chan 891. Come back. We want to make fun of you. No, we're not. No, we would never make fun of him.
His
No.
rationale for saying it's not critical of fascism is that it has the same aesthetics as the last game that made fun of fascism.
Starship Troopers, the movie, is a masterpiece of cinema. Yeah, it's a great movie.
They're saying I'm out of focus.
Literally just add him. Yeah, no, but he unfollowed me, so he can't even speak again
No.
until he waits an entire day. But he can overcome that if he subscribes for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Not $5, sorry, $6 or for free with a Twitch Prime.
In the 1920s, religion isn't just opportunistic, it's central. A nation and leader chosen by God, with the Bible as the highest law. Therefore, patriotism is your duty to show your gratitude towards your God. Diffusion a fundamentalist religion with authoritarian nationalism.
Pastors socially distancing, mitigating, and walking with BLM, by the way, which is funded by Soros and founded by a lesbian Marxist who prays to Satan.
The esoteric occult mysticism of the Nazis is replaced with Christian aesthetics. It's also, of course, not an exclusive US-based phenomena. When looking at other nations, religious fundamentalism is often used to justify the power hierarchy.
Dude, Buddhists in Myanmar are the craziest thing to encounter, because you're like, you've been under this mindset of the Western world, like, oh, Buddhism, it's like the most peaceful religion, like it's like almost like a trope that like other people use. I only followed to see timer set by follower only. Okay, well, you're a follower and a subscriber now, bitch. Oh, you are a subscriber now, not a follower. But you're wrong, though. Just so you know, you understand. Helldivers makes fun of right-wing patriotism. It's always made fun of that, and you don't understand it, but it's okay.
I've never played it. It's just a lot of like what that clip was showing.
It's it's literally Starship Troopers, the game. It's the most faithful adaptation of Starship Troopers. The movie of Starship Troopers turned into a video game. Like you're spreading democracy. Like they openly say you're spreading democracy when you invade other planets. But yeah, people talk about like Buddhists being like a peaceful religion, and then in Myanmar you got like the same, like you got Buddhist motherfuckers being like Muslims wiped out.
Linking one's own nationality with supposedly sacred values produces a threatened image of identity that must be regained. It not only produces a longing for the past, but also a fear of losing this collective identity, culture, and supposed values. Drifting off into Fantasyland serves one clear purpose: to manufacture the illusion of a deep ancient foundation for their ideology.
This is a really good video.
Yeah.
Even the score is good. God damn,
Nostalgia
dude.
for the past is still a
Really
major
well put
theme.
together.
Instead of addressing concrete changes in living conditions, people are promised a return to some traditional good old days like the 1950s or Reagan's 1980s in the US, Russia with the Soviet Union, or Germany with trying to bring back traditions in order to revive a lost culture, a lost nation. How this is exactly supposed to improve the lives of the people? Don't ask, bro. It just feels right, bro. And it's not just the culture that's lost, it's masculinity.
So the irony, of course, is that in Nazi Germany, they also did that. But because German mythology and German history did not have like the same deep well that like Mussolini could tap into with Roman society, Roman history, Nazi Germany basically had to invent this new mythos, because if you go back far enough, the Germans are just living in mud huts, right? So and I mean, I think it's cool that they literally were able to push back for an extended period of time, far beyond what people thought was possible, the Roman invasion. But ultimately, they had to just like make up fake like Viking shit and take on a lot of the Roman mythology anyway. The whole salute is literally a Roman salute initially. The Heil Hitler salute that you know is like the Nazi salute. Nordic runes, and this like greater Aryan mythology. They stole the swastika. They just ruined a whole bunch of different like long-standing cultural artifacts by just associating it with horrifying violence.
Ugopnik has done a few videos on that, I think. You've seen those.
Yeah.
Really good.
The Roman salute was made up by Mussolini. Wait, I thought the Roman salute originally was... Wait, what did the Romans do? Don't they do like this or something? Like the Romans did some type of salute. I don't know what it was. Like the Roman salute wasn't real? No. Not like the hand... Not the hand... I'm not going to do it, obviously. Not the Elon Musk salute.
They want you to do it, man.
Yeah. They did this. This is how the Romans saluted face up.
It's kind of hard.
Dude, this is...
This is from FaZe, like Jakura.
You know what Jakura is?
My roommate's really into it.
What the dude?
Did I just open up a box? Yeah, I'm slightly
what?
tapped in thanks to my roommate.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god, your
That's how
roommate's
I learned about
parasocial.
Labubu. Yeah,
Your
well, I
roommate's
don't think
parasocial.
He is a little. Well, I make fun of him for that, but I feel like he watches a lot of the worst content out there, and I don't think that's necessarily bad. But
no. Jason's the man. That's nephew.
He just watches all of what's happening on the internet, and like this is the latest thing that he's tapped into. But it's
Okay.
What's the latest on that? Are they like? What are they? Are you acting like you're not into it now?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't follow that stuff.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't follow that stuff at all. I'm
watch
just
that
healed.
crap.
I'm just healing myself.
Yeah.
Is that
You're
what he says?
Focused
Does your
on
roommate say
yourself.
that?
Yeah.
It's like,
No,
it's healing me.
he'll just have it on, and he'll be like, "We'll be out," and he'll be like, "It's almost 8 o'clock. We got to get ready. They're going to the temple today." Or something.
That's crazy. A
very
whole
funny.
ass adult. How old is he?
He's 27. His birthday's next week.
Like a whole. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
a bit much. That's more. I follow
No,
this stuff.
it's like an ironic thing. Though,
Oh, okay.
For sure.
I follow this stuff through TikTok.
Yeah. Oh,
And
what,
also, what am I saying? I know Jason.
Right.
I
that's your boy,
forgot.
right? Yeah.
I forgot that I also personally know one of the parties of. I mean, I know soccer now as well, but not as well. But you know.
Yeah, it's like a weird new thing I've never seen. I guess sort of like relationships happening on Twitch, or like fun bait with stuff like that is a thing that's happened on Twitch for a while. I just don't watch that much Twitch, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
But shout out Chikura, man.
Shout out to Jakara. Bro is parasocial with his IRL friend. Okay, chill.
Too. And weirdly, it's exactly the same narrative as in the 1920s. And for all its rebranding, far-right aesthetics constantly recycle the same old Greek, Roman, Nordic masculinity tropes, propagating the same message Mishima would be proud of. Having a strong body is moral, and men with weaker bodies.
Is Ben Japanese German? Like for real?
That's what he's saying.
Are immoral.
Oh wait, are we getting to the MAGA body here?
Okay, we are now
Yeah.
slowly getting into online culture war.
That's
This
you,
is the goofy zone. Everything I'm showing you now is very stupid, cringe, and laughable. You could basically repeat everything I said in my previous video about fascist masculinity, hypermasculinity, aggression, dominance, strength, back to tradition, militarization of the male body. What can be mentioned, however, is the hustle culture. While in the past gym bro aesthetics were already big in the 1920s, linking physical pride and strength with money or cars is a more recent twist. A serious consumption of hustle culture.
I think it's capitalism. Capitalism is such a domineering force that, like, I think in the 1920s, when, I mean, obviously capitalism still very much existed, there was more of a counterbalance of socialism, communism, trade unionism, and therefore that left populism was so popular overall that the early fascist movements, while still being very much pro-capitalist and after its inception, either directly came, in the case of Mussolini, from socialist movements, or, like in Nazi Germany, called themselves socialist. So I think the real reason why today's fascists, like modern fascist movements, actually signify capitalism as a formative part of its like marketing is because there is no self-identifying left movement out there. Like there is no real viable socialist alternative, and therefore people don't even recognize that they might exhibit socialist tendencies or socialist values. So I think a lot of these people don't even try to present themselves as that. And that's why they go fully invested into the the right-wing pro-capitalist aesthetic.
Content could potentially lead to even more content tailored towards young men. Fitness, routines, self-help content, then to apolitical podcast bros, dating advices, and lastly, why the man crisis really exists. A deep dive
Nice
into
touch
this
that
pipeline
font.
can be seen here.
Yeah.
In line with
400,000
today's
likes, that's
irony
awesome.
poisoned social media
I
zeitgeist.
love that though. Be a man, and it's just like wolves and lions.
Kitties wrestling,
That's
killing
not-
each other. That is what men love to do.
Yeah, be a man, be like this wolf and a lion.
Punch a guy and
The
almost kill him.
manosphere aesthetic doesn't even live up to its own ideals. Neither did many men in the 1920s and 30s, of course. But hypocrisy has reached new heights these days.
We literally ended up in this position because everyone's that's how we ended up here.
I made a whole video about this as
love
well
that.
if you're interested.
The West
It's-
Brothers.
I think it was funny. The funniest part about like new manosphere culture shit is that they're so gay. They're like literally they're it's about like hot naked men. You know, there's like be a hot guy, be naked, be wet, wrestle with one another. They're dorks and they're pretty gay.
Yeah, it's like
wear skin tight. Wear skin tight clothing. Showcase your bod. Yeah, you love my bod, don't you?
It's like,
you love it.
like I mean, patriarchy in some ways is like a bunch of guys getting together and deciding what to do about the world or what to do about like women or like how to date women by talking to other boys about what they like.
Yeah.
And it's just a bunch of guys like
Who have never
in
had
their
like a
own-
real human connection with another woman because they physically are incapable of treating women like human beings.
Yeah. A lot of dating content. I feel like black pill edits. I'm getting a lot of those on my timeline these days. And
Oh,
it's
I
like
was just covering that before you got here.
yeah. It's so a lot of them are really funny because they'll take the like mogging sort of structure and instead of like, you know, it'll show like a guy who's like short and fat and weird and then like a guy who's like a model. It'll show like a chicken.
Jordan Barrett.
Jordan Barrett. Is that like a black pill guy?
No, he's just like the alien looking model that they always point to.
Oh yeah. He's fully ascended, they say.
yeah.
That's what ascended is. Terrifying. He's like the Bogdanov twins. You know that?
At the end of the day, you're sitting around watching a dude who's being paid to be hot, who doesn't know you exist, okay? And you're just going, this guy is my god. What the? He's a Bogdanov? No, he doesn't look like a Bogdanov twin.
The
But,
guy I saw, maybe there's videos of him that are edited or something, but like,
oh, they always put the Chad jaw filter on too.
yeah. But like the idea of what is attractive to women is being mediated and debated
guy,
by
right?
a bunch of men. Yeah.
This
So
guy.
like he's like he's apparently the number one guy for the black pill guys, or he
Yeah.
was. Maybe he fell off, is what they're saying, like because he got too much surgery or something. But it's like, I mean, I'm not shitting on this guy, but the way people like,
this guy's
do
fine.
stuff
He's
to
just like
themselves.
He's just like a model.
Yeah.
He's I think he's gay himself.
Uh-huh.
Like in the real world, he's not like not the image that they've created around him. I'm talking about like the real person. Jordan Barrett is just like a guy. He's just a model. He's a famous model.
But he's kind of like his antithesis is, you know, Jeremy Meeks. You ever seen that guy? He's like the really handsome guy who was in a mug shot.
Oh yeah.
With the blue eyes, you know.
Yeah.
He's like the antithesis. He's the guy who
This guy, yeah.
serves as like the incel sort of what's the word, like rage point, because he's really hot and he got famous even though he was he had like gun charges or something. And it's like women like men, even if they're criminals, if they're hot and have the correct jawline, and that's the most important thing women want, and it's all they care about.
Yeah.
So even criminals are getting pussy, but I'm not, because women don't like how I look and they're shallow for that. And it's like, I think Jordan Barrett, like when it comes to looks maxing, is like the aesthetic ideal of what they're trying to get to.
Yeah, but
and then
like
they hammer their jaw or whatever.
But yeah, oh my god, that
Bone
is
smashing.
The crazy, yeah, bone smashing is like the craziest thing that these do.
They're doing buccal fat though now, like actual surgeries. A lot of the I think the TikTok guys are doing that.
Yeah, what the it's just eating disorder Twitter, but for like young teenage boys.
Oh, for sure.
Which is crazy. Like I don't think they recognize it as that, because like that's also female coded. So they think like being a woman is the worst thing you can be in many respects for a lot of these guys. But it is just like male anorexia Twitter. That's what it is.
There's overlap with that and like Jeff Nippard low key when it comes to like online fitness community. Not Jeff Nippard specifically, but like online fitness.
Yo, chill.
No. Jeff Nippard is dope. I'm not coming for Jeff Nippard. When I think of the online fitness community, that's love to Jeff Nippard because that's who I think of. But the online fitness community is a very broad space. Please don't cancel me with your videos. But like specifically, stuff about cutting and like getting lean or like building the ideal body.
But you know what's really interesting? Actually, I know a lot of the fitness guys. Like I've met a lot of them. I know a lot of the fitness guys. They all have like weird, quirky takes on one thing or another. I wouldn't say that about Jeff, obviously. Jeff doesn't. He is perfect politics. He's great.
Big Joel told me the other day that Jeff Nippard just joined his Patreon.
Yeah, no, Jeff is amazing, and he's the best HasanAbi head out there. Straight up, sorry, no disrespect to all the other HasanAbi heads out there, but I will say that like a lot of those dudes, and even myself included, and you used to weightlift pretty hard, right? I mean, you're a brolic dude.
Oh, come on, yeah.
But like
lift.
it just comes with the territory of working out, where you do develop body dysmorphia.
Yeah,
right.
Totally.
You do. It's a part of the process, but a lot of those dudes don't do this kind of shit either. Like this is something beyond that. Like the BP edits, I think, are beyond like
well beyond
the traditional fitness
It's
side.
like a spectrum though. Like it like I don't think it's necessarily a pipeline. Maybe you could describe it that way, but it's like because I have been watching fitness content, I'm starting to get recommended.
Oh yeah,
that's how I end up with Black Pill TikToks.
Yeah,
right?
they definitely try to like. That's definitely a part of it for sure.
Yeah.
Now more prevalent than ever that behind all theatrics
That's
and
so
flexing hides deep insecurity that has to be overplayed. I mean, if you have to use filters and music to reinforce your toughness, don't be surprised when...
Or if you have to constantly say you're a alpha male or a sigma male or how macho you are, it's like, no, you're not. It's so fake. I've never been able to understand why other people don't recognize that when they see it. When I see someone who's like big tough guy, okay? When I see someone like overcompensating and constantly talking about how big of a tough guy he is, and a big part of like presenting how you're a big tough guy is by basically shitting on people who are vulnerable. Like you have to present people who are weaker than you as bad people and like constantly bully them. Otherwise, how else are people going to know you're a big tough guy? Even the BP edits do that juxtaposition where they show like someone who doesn't subscribe to the traditional beauty standards, right? Or sometimes they even go like super dark with it. Like they'll show someone with like a significant disability.
Yeah.
And
or
then
they'll show like
you
a
just got
skinny
mobbed.
like Somalian guy and then it cuts to like an Aryan, like whatever.
Yeah.
And the comments are like, the racist stuff or the like ableist stuff for sure.
Yeah. And that was literally lookism and like black pill and red pill initially as well. That's precisely what it was. But even these guys, like the manosphere guys, like when I see them talk about how macho they are or how masculine they are,
I feel like they
how
talk
big of a
about
tough guy they are.
But most normally socialized people hear that and say, oh, that guy's a loser or that guy's a weirdo. But because it's these, little spaces online, I don't know. FD Signifier has a bunch of really good videos about this topic. You've probably watched them on stream. But when it comes to like people that watch and say, these guys are cool, they're usually like teens and like pretty young people that eventually they say something to a family member and the family like smacks them across the back of the head and then they're like, okay, maybe I should stop watching this shit. And then they grow up and then they don't.
Yeah, but that's the problem with like no third spaces and no sense of community and people becoming more and more isolated as a consequence of like spending more time online and not necessarily any time in the real world around other people doing hobbies or playing organized sports and shit like that. You don't have them smacking you outside of the head.
Exactly.
You have people like myself who are also online. So your only experience with people like myself is just basically from the other side of the camera. And I don't have the capacity to tell you this is stupid, this is weak, this is silly, because you are already invested in the other side of this coin. I try my best, but it's never going to have the same impact as like being able to communicate with you as a male role model in your life. you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a limit to how much I can like how much impact I can have in this space.
People think you're still stuck in puberty. Looking at the optics of online bro culture alone can actually be very cute, seeing these softies staging themselves as some stoic philosophical hero online. And I'm a softie too, but I'm not pretending like I'm not.
Long core Y angle that's
business,
clean.
but I don't want you to think I'm triggered by you. I'm not. Okay. I saw somebody say that, and I think that's interesting. I think you're annoying, but I'm not triggered.
I'm literally not
Like
even twigging.
every
Wow.
overdramatic theater kid, you just can't help yourself telling everyone how hard your life is, how much you struggle your whole life, when in reality, you might have no idea what real struggle is. So you have to pretend like you do. I have no idea myself. I don't know what it's like. I'm privileged. What differentiates this from this is that one of them is more honest and mature than the other. As usual
I
nowadays,
don't know what that lady was crying
everything is just shit and giggles
true, though.
until you realize what real world consequences this has.
Obesity comes from you Jews affecting our media.
They have taught us World War II history like we're children. And they freaked out when I shared a BBC documentary, no less, because they had tried to like wipe this from the universe about how Germans were ethnically cleansed. Stalin's, there's a book written by a guy, last name Kaufman, I'm blanking on the first name, where he said it's Germany must perish.
Wait. Me reference.
As absurd as the appearance might seem, there are...
That wasn't me in the video. Me reference. Candace Owens is crazy, bro.
As absurd as the appearance might seem, there are unfortunately many who might laugh at it at first, but then start taking parts of it seriously. What started out as an ironic joke slowly turns into, well, there might be something to it. The absurdity and especially the irony works great as a shield against criticism. Because, hey, none of this was really serious, right?
Oh, I love that. Foids, that's the new
upgraded femoid.
Yeah,
right?
femoid is now turned into foid.
It's like huz and chuz. You know those?
Yeah, but that's like the normie version of that.
For sure.
Like,
It's just
not
the evolution of language, not in the similar moral.
Like when someone says like huz or chuz, like, is that misogynistic? Absolutely. But this is like a entirely separate wavelength of...
Totally. I mean, in a Chomskyan linguistic sense.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Like huz and chuz.
Yeah.
That's what he said about it.
Yeah.
Inside the manosphere, love to identify themselves with characters from pop culture. Whether it's Thomas Shelby, Patrick Bateman, or so-called edgelord characters like Joko or Eren Yeager. Edgelord characters are particularly popular with incels because they see themselves in them. You know, the misunderstood outsider of society who are the actual victims.
Wait, me?
Or just straight up Nazi Superman. Edgelords break taboos or cross boundaries to provoke, often through sarcastic, dark humor. This mindset is clearly reflected in their visual aesthetics.
Stephen Paddock
and Elliot Rodger.
Stephen Paddock and Elliot Rodger, and I don't know what the other guy was, but it's like, oh, we're so edgy. Yeah. Oh, look at these mass shooters. We love these mass shooters. Sick. But then it literally turns into like irony, into, you know, there is like a guy in your Telegram that is going to be the next version of that. And I guess like, if you're that angry, if you have that much hatred in your heart for the world that you live in, then I guess you don't have an issue with a person that does horrifying acts of violence such as that.
To see references to provocative imagery involving extreme figures like Nazis, mass shooters, or serial killers in incel subculture. These are often used to grab attention to epically trigger snowflakes.
Yeah, look, like coping weepsell, coping weepsell, and honk pillar.
What's honk pillar?
Honk pillar is just like...
You know what honk pillar is?
No,
what is that?
I thought it actually said Han killer, which is transphobic. I thought he meant like he kills trans people, but honk pillar is... God, my brain is so broken. Honking is just like clown world.
Like honk.
Yeah.
He's honk pilled. Like
he's like,
jokerified.
He's pilling people. He's like getting people invested in clown world.
Oh.
What is new meta is also jester.
Jester maxing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll do that all the time.
Yeah, jester. Oh, that's just jester. Politics is jester.
They say politics is jester maxing. How does that work? Wouldn't that be like
Hasan knows trans slang I've never even heard of. Han is like that's also like a transphobic, right? Isn't it? Isn't it like it's Hun. It's pronounced Hun, but it's spelled Han, Hon, and it's like
Hun like honey.
Han is when a trans woman doesn't pass. And I think it initially started amongst like again, it was like an intro term that turned into like something on 4chan to be used against trans people, because so many of these are either literally in the closet trans or straightforwardly just like so invested in knowing deep lore about trans culture.
Right, like that guy earlier, getting like high level.
Han is hyper online shit too. It's always a tell when another trans person uses it in earnest because it shows how online they are. Lol. Yeah. Okay. The person who said this, girl clock. I wonder if this is supposed to be girl cock that you're
smart.
talking about how extremely online other trans people are with a username such as girl clock.
Often used to grab attention to epically trigger snowflakes who take everything too seriously. The dehumanizing ideology of incels is especially visible.
Clock is also another term too, to be fair.
Yeah, like clocking somebody.
Yeah.
And the cartoon-like portrayals of racist, offensive caricatures like Chads, Janks, or Tyrones. These exaggerated figures may come with a tone of ironic, dark humor, but are clearly ill-intended and just plain cruel. The caricatures closely resembles anti-Semitic cartoons or other forms of dehumanizing propaganda from the past. Unlike the Nazis, who used eugenics to justify racial hierarchies, incels use eugenics to measure attractiveness based on external traits. This reinforces the fascist tone of...
Wait, I gotta look at some of these.
Wheat waffles?
No, what's that?
That's weirdly the Black Pill channel that makes these charts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like he'll make a YouTube video about this is like what looks cute cell, pretty boy, ideal, uber mask, roid cell. And then there's a
Safe Sleazy's has been another one. No, that guy, I don't think that guy's alt-right. I think he's just like making fun of like Brooklyn podcaster culture. He makes fun of Me Too all the time. I don't think he is
there's
like
a Safe Sleazy guy.
Is he?
I thought Safe Sleazy was like a category.
Safe Sleazy is
archetype.
This guy, I think he's like a Dime Square adjacent guy. So I don't know if he was like actually alt-right or not, but he makes these videos and he uses me and Curtis Connor as well, where he just like shits on Bushwick, like the Bushwick
aesthetic.
Yeah.
I got grouped into Safe Sleazy when I had a mullet and a mustache, because that's like an archetype, like a Silver Lake mullet mustache guy with tattoos or whatever.
Wait, maybe Han is non-passing trans women. It was created by other trans people on /LGBT, sometimes called /TTTTT, and it's not really transphobic since it's mostly used by other trans people. It's used to cope with one's ability to not pass. No, but transphobic people are so tapped. That was my point. My point is, it is initially a term. It's shortened for honey, to say honey, to indicate that this other trans woman is not passing. But literally, even though it was like an inter-trans community meme, it has basically been the inter-trans community meme has turned into something that transphobic people, specifically like really deeply like transphobic people who stalk trans people online and like try to lolcow them like Kiwi Farm style, they have appropriated the terminology to indicate transphobic statements, like to indicate their own personal transphobia. What does not passing mean? That she doesn't look feminine? Yes, like not passing a rigid gender, like a rigid gender binary. Not, yeah, that's what passing means. What is this? I low-key do not. DW transphobia. Transphobia phobic.
Whoa.
Low key, I do not with transphobia. W.
Transphobia phobic is sick.
W's in the chat for not with transphobia. Am I right? I low key also don't with transphobia.
I have racist phobia. How about
Brick,
that?
derogatory. There are trans people who also use that language in self-deprecating ways. Trans women are famously never extremely online. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we've also talked about why trans women especially are incredibly online, because they have to exist in a sense of community online, because there is no community that you can have that isn't immediately in physical danger if it were to exist in the real meat space. But yeah, it's internalized transphobia. It's not intra-community meme. It's toxic. Yeah, for sure.
What do you think about the masculine ideal there, which is positioned at 5? Do you think that's the ideal?
This guy?
Sort of a Henry Cavill. No.
Women
ideal in the middle.
Oh, this is the ideal.
That's
this
Andrew
guy?
Tate.
Who is this guy?
I don't know. He looks like he's mogging though.
Is he mogging?
But this is contributing to
Where are you on this? Where are you on this list?
I think I've been called a high tier normie.
Okay.
Which is, I don't know where that is in the ranking, but some used to call me a Chad Light. Some older photos I'd probably be considered a Chad Light. I think I'm maybe normie to high tier normie, depending on the day.
Okay.
What do they place you at in the
I don't
ranking?
know. But my favorite thing is like, while everything that I communicate is like very gay, very woke, very soy, very not based, very jester, whatever the new terms are.
As fuck, yeah.
But the way I look, on the other hand, is on the exact opposing side of that chart. So they have a really hard time coming to terms with that. Where like I'll see it in like lookism, which I looked at lookism in 2019, like way back in the day when it was first when they first like built that website. No, as a meme see
for sure.
To see what these freaks were saying. But someone please translate what this 40-year-old is saying. Bitch, this 40-year-old is spitting game at you right now.
But like with you, like if they hear what you're saying and then the aesthetics don't match the content, they'll say, actually, you do look like shit. And they'll like find a photo where you like, they'll call you soy because of your glasses or whatever. Like they'll find a way to...
They post me in the maid outfit all the time.
Oh yeah.
They post me in the they'll be like, this guy's trans.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
They're clocking.
But like I do have the automatic, like if you put me next to like one of these yelling at women podcasts, if you put like a podcaster from that orbit that has presented themselves as like this beacon of masculinity next to someone like myself, like who the is the audience going to respond more positively to? You know what I mean? No disrespect, but I look more like the masculine bro guy than they do. They look like nerds. But I do think personally that there are a lot of people that also kind of look like that podcaster. So they want to feel like if you just yell at women, then you will be perceived as more masculine than everybody else.
Like Andrew Tate or who do you mean? Like the
No, not even Andrew Tate. Like the whatever podcast.
Oh yeah.
Like there are a lot of
those guys are crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people want.
They're all red.
A lot of people online that look exactly like the whatever podcast hosts.
Brian
want to you know more than I do. Want to feel as though if they are to communicate like alpha sentiment by just like shitting on women, then they too are alpha, just like the whatever podcast bros are alpha. It's not about like actually working out. It's not about actually working out. It's not about actually, having a healthy diet, and being physically fit or being confident. It's just about like how you communicate that.
That's why we love Jeff Nippert, because he's like normal and he's cool and he gives physical fitness advice. What about Mike Israetel? You see the latest thing on him?
Yeah, people are saying he's a race.
He's doing
realist.
like race science, yeah, or something like that. He said race is real. There's been stuff that like he said over, like he has a podcast that's
he has
like
a PhD. He should not be.
People with PhDs can be really, really good at one subject and really stupid about others.
That's true, but like his PhD is still kind of related to biology. You know what I mean? Which is why it's not like he has a.
That's true.
It's not.
It sounds like whatever his conception, and we could find the clip, but whatever his conception of race being scientifically real was derived not from like any sort of academic thing, but probably from like reading the bell curve and not watching Sean's video that debunked the bell curve or something like that. You know, stuff like that.
Oh my God.
He has a podcast show as well where he does like he talks about how cops are cool. I've only seen a few clips of it, but anyways,
Oh yeah, no, he has a lot of like right wing libertarian tendencies, 100%.
Yeah, the latest thing is just more extreme, but
and also I don't agree with race realism. And
really,
for those of you who were wondering if
we hate it,
if you were worried about that,
were people worried about that?
I don't know. Fucking who knows, man. But the thing that's really annoying about that is these guys. They like, I don't understand, because you point to something that is like easy to identify, right?
Which one's that?
Where like they'll be like, oh well, black people have black skin, you know, clearly there are racial differences. Yeah, but you're the one who's extrapolating additional social constructs off of that. You're the one who's actually ascribing values to that, which has no scientific basis. So it's this weird like wishy-washy bullshit, completely destroyed failed scientific movement of like race realism that you're trying to bring back and relitigate, and it's just wrong. It's dumb, it's wrong. I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah, with Dr. Mike too, what's funny, or I don't know if people call him that, but like Mike Israetel, people are saying in chat that he gives like low-key bad advice, and I've watched a lot of his fitness content, and a lot of it aligns with.
My name is Ella.
I saw a TikTok clip of this. I
think.
Yeah. Ethics and biomedical sciences, I acknowledge that race is not a biological reality, but a social construct. To provide a brief introduction to what I will be talking about,
like there are of course biological traits that come along with race. Like yeah, like black people have more melanin. You know what I mean? Like it's just that's not. But what we understand as race is completely socially determined. It's the values that we have added on.
In this video, let's briefly review the history of race as a concept and a few of the major reasons why race is considered a social construct with no true basis in biology or genetics. First, the concept of race, biology, or genetics. The concept of race began with Enlightenment thinkers like Carl Linus under the pseudoscientific veil of biology and genetics.
Unless I don't actually know how you do the stream.
You're right. No, you're right.
Based on external traits. This reinforces the fascist tone of their visual symbolism. The value of a human being becomes quantifiable.
Oh yeah, hoflation they call this.
Oh yeah. I know. My favorite content creator, Asmongold, also had a tweet about that.
Oh, nice. What'd he say?
Oh, where was it? Chat. Someone in the chat will link it real quick. What did Asmongold say about hoflation?
I love
no, not Homath. He
Homath is a channel.
Homath is the channel that he likes, but he also said hoflation. Wait, oh shit! Someone just. Where are all the hot girls working at GameStop? Oh, here it is. Everybody always talking about hoflation. This is so uncharacteristic. It is so not like his voice too.
Yeah, Chat GPT ask him to write it like a hip hop style individual.
Yeah, everybody always talking about hoflation, but it's actually the opposite. I used to be able to go to GameStop or Target to see hot bitches working there every day. Now it's just hogs. Why? Because those girls are at home doing OnlyFans now instead of working.
True. He's right. He's got a point, man. Where did that come from? Because I've never seen him say anything like that, and anything like that since.
Yeah, no, this was like
just randomly. What?
He got real hot about this.
Yeah.
I think he was just like, everybody always talking about hoflation.
So he's saying hoflation is going down because the hot women are going to do OnlyFans at home. So
yeah, it's not a hoflation.
That's good for him though. That's good for him.
It's not. He's saying hoflation is not real.
Right.
Hoflation can't hurt you. I don't know.
Interesting.
That's
your favorite. Yeah, he's my favorite too. Probably.
He's the best. Yeah. He's the best in the game. Nobody's out here doing it like that. Okay.
Your attractiveness, the higher your worth.
Hoflation is the idea that like women have a higher standard for themselves. That's basically what it is, right? Isn't that what it is?
No, hoflation is like women only want to go for hotter guys. So because all the women on like dating apps are going for the hotter guys, then the 5 and the sub 5s, they call them, are not getting any matches, which is making the matches they do get lower on the scale because they have to go down in order to get matches, in order to date. So the guys in like 1 to 3 are left with nobody to have.
I just thought there was more hoes. Like I thought that, and the value of the hoe is going down because there's like the market is oversaturated with hoes.
Oh no, that might be with black pill guys. It's a different.
Okay, hold
thing.
on.
You're saying
I'm gonna go get a Teflon pan and we're gonna slam our head, like, to make sure that our prefrontal cortex is eroded so we can comprehend what they're saying.
Yeah.
I think
that might make our skulls look hotter.
That's also a double benefit.
Win-win.
Okay,
these guys are awesome. Yeah,
because I don't think you're gonna be able to comprehend what these guys are talking about until you like have a debilitating medical condition.
The thing about black pill guys is it's like the entire thing is debunked by what else are you gonna do? Like if you think you can't get a date and you can't get a match because you're irreparably damaged or whatever, then you do whatever you can to try and do that. And if you aren't successful, then that's just the way it is, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, you've talked about like any man can be a 7, right? If he just does the basics, like hygiene, workout, learn how to dress, those things. And I think that's fair. Like how many dudes do you know that have a girlfriend that have the incel skull on the right? See? Or like right there. I know hella dudes with a girlfriend that or like a husband that have that skull.
Oh, wait. Okay, so USA doctor decided to end the nature versus nurture debate. So we work with a bunch of orphanages to split twins into different families with different social and financial status. While his research is still sealed as the subjects are still alive, it appears he concluded that nature plays a bigger part in what type of person you become.
If his research is sealed, how do you know, bro? He opened the crypt. TikTok fact, by the way.
That sounds like the most unethical that sounds like the most unethical research I've ever heard in my entire life. This is literally a 4chan conspiracy. We got studies, but you can't see it.
Yeah. Just trust me, bro. The study says he didn't release the way he conducted it.
Yeah, I
wonder why.
Yeah.
Well, splitting up orphans is like
yeah,
they're already
that doctor famous. Mengele.
Yeah. His name is Joseph Mengele.
Yeah. I feel like twin studies were...
What's up, twin?
Twin studies have been done. It's not secret. It's taught in cognitive science. No, I know. But not like this, I don't think. You can't just because someone is an orphan doesn't mean you can just like manipulate their existence. I mean, I guess maybe this guy did, but I'm saying that like you can't safely conduct an ethical study that is replicable, that could be tested with a entirely unethical premise.
Do you have ADHD by chance?
Yes, I do. Why?
I do too.
Because you want me to get back to the video.
No, I'm just curious because like the reason I don't stream, part of why I don't stream, not saying it makes it a bad stream or anything, but I do this too, and it makes me like I get distracted at the point where I forget if I'm trying to work on something on stream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's actually trying to avoid the topic of incels because this frankly seems like a bottomless pit. The aesthetics of incel ideology deserve their own deep dive. So I'll be covering that in a future video. In a nutshell, men and women believe in fixed hierarchies in society. They have scorn for women, glorify violence, emasculate men, see themselves as victims, talk about conquering women, are fundamentally anti-feminist, justify or belittle assault, hate queer people, and love minors?
That's the other thing is,
I am
all our ops
so
are
done with the manosphere, man.
Yeah, that's like, I feel like that's new meta. I mean, or maybe if you think about it, that's like the oldest meta of all time.
The new meta is pedophilia. Yeah, with these guys. Yeah.
It's just like a very strange thing that I started noticing. Like I feel like we had like a good 10 to 20 years where like, basically we're like, oh, you're a pedophile. That's gross, right? And now people are like, nah, actually, like, he might be a phebophile. Like that's what they do. which, as I like to say, is basically you admitting that there are some minors that you would want to, okay? You're like, nah, you don't understand. These are minors, okay? Not the unfuckable kind. Ew, gross. Which is crazy. When did this happen? You know?
Yeah, people get really touchy about like pedophilia accusations. I've gotten in trouble for that, for just being like, oh, this guy's a pedophile because they did something weird, like on Twitter or whatever. It's part of why I got banned, I think, one time a while ago. And when they start pulling out the distinctions, it's always like, what like normal people don't talk like this, you know? Like,
yeah,
it's funny.
Just move on. What's next? Oh no.
Ben, this video is really good.
Yeah. Pronouns! My goat. Everyone became him. Everyone made fun of him, and now everyone is him.
We're all tired of Gamergate. Me too. But if you want to talk about far-right aesthetics, we can't ignore the most ridiculous, embarrassing, and...
Did you say Babytron?
Yeah, little baby, that guy, the bald guy.
No, Babytron is...
Someone versus Babyface. His name is crazy. That's all I remember.
He said Babytron, dude. Yeah, this is Babytron.
Oh yeah, I know that guy.
Hold on.
He wanted beef. He froze up. He should have thought.
Chatters. All right,
What's
let's
that?
keep going with the video. No.
What's Miles?
Nah, don't worry about it. It's
Really? It's another music person?
Nah, just don't even Google it. Don't even.
Let's
just keep
one
going.
that heavily overlaps
Chat,
with
help
the
me out.
manosphere.
He's gatekeeping his
Gamers.
favorite music.
It's pointless to try and have a political conversation with many male gamers since they will insist they're totally apolitical. They just want to keep politics out of their games.
True.
Right? Steve Bannon? You can activate that army.
Oh yeah, you don't know.
I never seen that.
Yeah.
That's insane. Oh, it was the Aiden Ross thing.
Yeah,
Right.
Trump met XQC one time. It was like 100% tariffs on Canada. We can't let these into the country. That's literally what he did. He met one guy from Level.
Can I see this clip? I've never seen that.
No. It's just see now you're ADHDing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, see,
we just enjoyed a Babytron, but yeah, I feel my thing is as a video maker, I feel bad for Ben, but also I'll watch it on my own time. That's just a funny screenshot.
Steve Bannon?
It's just so cringe.
You can activate that army. They come in through Gamergate or whatever and then get turned on to politics and Trump. If you're part of a fandom or a gamer and chronically online, you've definitely seen these thumbnails, right? Very similar to the ones floating around in Manosphere. Women in these thumbnails, right? Very similar to the ones floating.
Our game has no white males. Whiteys. Oh my God, perennially in a state of panic.
I can't believe she had that hat.
Permanent victimhood, dude.
That's low-key a hard hat.
Yeah.
Floating around.
Yeah, that's real. That's definitely a hat that she
it
owns.
was definitely real, and I want one.
Yeah.
I should make merch that says stuff like that.
Men are to blame for everything. Men, we are sorry. Feminism has gone too far. Stop asking me what I am. Why I am not enough. What?
Bubble. Women in these thumbnails
My thing with
are
gender
often
content a
emotionally
little bit is like, from covering the manosphere for a little bit, like a couple years ago, I was covering for a couple years. It's like my perspective on it has not changed as far as the manosphere, but now I also see a lot of clips that are, it's like girls saying dumb shit. I don't see them a lot, but I'm like, this person's rage baiting or this person's unintentionally being dumb because people generally are dumb and all these people are making money off of it. But like, whereas I would have in the past been like defended a person that's saying something dumb because people are being misogynistic towards them. It's like you can just say they're saying dumb shit and then move on to say why this guy's like this, the anime avatar vampire misogynist.
Yeah, it's over. You're like, misogynist now. You covered the manosphere so much, you became it.
I looped around. I fully horseshoe theoried, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's definitely, first of all, femcels are not the exact same as incels. Okay?
No, not at all.
They're not.
Not at all.
They are annoying, but that's pretty much it. Like, they're not doing like, mass shootings and shit. And also, and this is the same thing I always explain to people, like, you still have to understand that like femcels are operating under the same patriarchal constructs that we are all operating under, and therefore they have no power. They have no systemic hierarchical forms of oppression that they can just lean on. Okay,
Yeah, certainly.
Well, oh yeah,
certainly.
the one femcel did that, but that was but again, that was like a white supremacist Telegram group.
Yeah.
So ultimately, what do you call it? Ultimately, like, it just like doesn't have the same impact.
Yeah, I don't mean to weigh them in the same way. I just feel like there's an evolution of like online content that at a certain point, when you're looking at gender content, you have to recognize that it's a huge kind of clown fiesta of rage bait from everybody. One of them has systemic power and one of them doesn't, of course. But
lack of systemic power doesn't necessarily mean lack of cultural influence. Yeah, dude, there's a lot of femcel cultural influence. Go talk to your mom. Okay, go talk to any woman. Like, go talk to a woman, please. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, obviously not to the same scale. No, there is no scale. Like, if anything, the gender wars dynamic has absolutely created like a lot of women that are understandably resentful towards all men, understandably resentful towards like the uneven ground that they're playing in. But ultimately, there is no. It's true on CNN. They're saying they need an Andrew Tate of the women. Yeah, we need the ladies to start sex trafficking some men out here. What is this? Like, it's more so a reaction, and it has very little cultural cachet, in my opinion. It's just like not real at all. It's just annoying. At most, it's annoying, and it's. I mean, some people get duped by it for sure, but ultimately it is irrelevant when we are talking about like the systemic inequalities with especially with like access to healthcare, abortion. You know, I mean, there's a woman who was literally forced to carry a pregnancy to term after she had already been in a vegetative state. Like, what are we talking about? That's in America, you know? I agree it's a reaction, but there's like a niche. I agree the outcome is mainly just annoying. Yeah, it's just annoying. Who cares?
I think specifically with like content, because that's what a lot of like, I don't know, there's a lot of focus on like the manosphere and to a much lesser extent like femcells or whatever. So much of the discourse that happens is kind of like this guy makes money doing this. He makes money propagating misogynistic ideas to an audience of misogynists, right?
Yeah.
That's not systemic power, right? And from my feelings of covering guys like this, at a certain point I got kind of frustrated with it because I was like, this stuff's bad and there should be people like calling it out and critiquing it and like showing, you know, exposing that this content is so prominent. But at the same time, how does this relate to like the larger levers of power? You know, like it feels, I mean, that's the transition I made like in October 2023, because I was like, even though this stuff is harmful and even though the Andrew Tates, like people should be calling it out, I feel like to an extent, you know, the online content aspect of it is grand scheme inconsequential, even if it does affect a lot of young men, which that's, I mean, I'm not saying people shouldn't do it. That's just my personal, I guess, like journey with reconciling how like communicating politics that are, you know, feminist, or trying to be normal about it and get men to be normal it's not the best way to go about it isn't probably owning these guys that are just like total trolls, you know.
Feminaz balls ruin everything in colleges, bro. What do you mean?
True.
Dude,
men people come up
women
with
lead to Israel. What? Feminaz balls is so funny
because
he went from feminazi to feminaz ball.
Wow.
If you understood the Chad apartheid,
no shot,
bro. You go back far enough, you will find that I looked like shit. Okay, for most of my life, this is a new phenomena.
Is this person joking? You think
you're Chads and run everything? No, this person I think is like deeply unwell. Poor ugly guy.
Oh.
Most liberals are Zionist compromised. The only true liberal is Cenk Uygur. Do you condemn the Chad apartheid, though? What about the male loneliness epidemic?
That's from like 2 weeks ago.
Don't you want to be like next Vladimir Lenin or some shit? Don't you have ambitions to be like Vladimir Lenin, though? Hasan, what do you think about the Chad apartheid? What about the feminists who beat men today in the Chad apartheid, where only 20% of men get laid, but 80% don't?
That's the hoflation thing I was talking about, which is
it's the Pareto principle.
Oh yeah.
And some people unironically think that like if they get like a white nationalist traditionalist society, like they'll have like a state mandated girlfriend, but they won't. Anyway, yeah, he's this. How do I escape poverty? Don't you want to be like the next Vladimir Lenin or some shit? Okay. But yeah, but she's a woman. What can you do?
That's a new one. I haven't heard that.
Fuck Destiny, Israel.
Okay.
This guy is pro-Palestinian, but also deeply concerned with the unequal terms that he believes he's
against
under.
apartheid.
Yeah, he's against all apartheid.
All apartheid, including
Chad apartheid.
Including for
he can be helped.
sub-5s.
This guy can be helped. He's not so far down the pipe. I mean, he is very far down the pipeline. Let's be real. But
I'm curious what the Chad apartheid means. Like I'm assuming
he means like he's saying that Chads run everything. And if you understood the Chad apartheid, like you're Chads and run everything, and the uglies
do run everything.
The uglies are forced to be permanently servile in a servile state. The Untermensch. See how quickly it turns into like all this like genetic predeterministic values. It very quickly just jump to like neo-Nazi sentiment. This is what I was talking about with like even the black pill stuff.
Yeah, there is lookism though. I think that's a thing.
Yeah,
like when it comes to positive masculinity or whatever, there's topics like lookism.
Hold on.
That we pulling up the Chads who run everything.
Let me show you the Chads who run everything. Okay. God damn, dude, what a stud this guy is. Look at how sexy he is. You know what I mean? I want to be all up in his guts. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I want to have sex with him. That guy. I want to have consensual sexual intercourse with the president because he is tall. He's sexy. Yeah, you're giving him more ammo.
Of course I am.
You're giving the Chad apartheid guy more ammo.
I'm a sub-5 devil's advocate.
Let me pull up some more Chads. Hold on.
He's tall. He's kind of funny.
Hold on.
You think Trump's funny, right? He's
do.
jester maxing low key.
I do think he's funny. Another looker right here. Look at that.
Yeah.
Chad's running everything.
No, you're not jester maxing for politics. You're wonk maxing. You know wonk?
Yeah.
I heard people call Virgil Texas that one time, and I liked it. I thought it was funny.
He's maxing some other shit. I think
he's minimizing the ages and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's maxing out on some creep shit.
Yeah, I think like
high appeal because he's status maxed.
Yeah, that's what they say, right? They'll be like, you can be ugly if you're rich and powerful.
Yeah. Okay, but
the
bro,
Chad apartheid.
You have to understand that these guys were Chads in their primes, which allowed them to concede power. Now they
look up young Mitch McConnell.
I mean, it's right here. What do you think?
Yeah, that's funny.
Wait, here's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this Chad, dude.
He's Chad.
Yeah, that's why he was allowed to status max, because he was sexy.
Now the conservatives are not the Chad only leftist. If you're calling us Chads, I'll take it, man. But I'm against apartheid. You're against apartheid.
The Beatles look like that. At a certain point, and they had a 60s harem. At a certain point, you got to realize, like,
60s haram.
You're doing this when you find yourself defending the sexual panter that is Mitch McConnell. You have to realize that you are so desperate to make this theory fit that this counterexample has completely destroyed your worldview.
I'm curious where this comes from, like what this guy's watching to make him think this.
The Mona Lisa was considered Kim Kardashian. It changes, bro. The Chad apartheid changes. At no point was Mitch McConnell considered hot, bro. Are you stupid?
It's Chadflation. It's Chadflation, bro. Because guys like you are out here on the TV looking all hot, and now he can't become the speaker of the whatever.
Bro, beauty standards do change. You're right. Mitch McConnell never fit the beauty standard of the day. What are you talking about?
The Mona Lisa was considered Kim Kardashian. It changes, bro. The Chad apart. I just needed to read that game. It's so awesome.
This guy's awesome.
No, but
this
bro,
awesome.
You have to understand, in the 1600s, being fat was Chad, and Mona Lisa was pudgy, which was considered a Stacy.
No,
you know Stacy?
I like that he Notice how you didn't use the 1960s and went to the 1600s. beauty standards in the United States of America have changed since the 1960s, but not as dramatically as, like, I don't know, beauty standards born out of like food scarcity, for example, considering that the material conditions are fairly similar overall in comparison to like multiple centuries ago.
I'm curious how he defines a Chad. Poor ugly guy 2242. How do you define a Chad?
The Mona Lisa was not considered hegemonic feminine beauty. Yeah, I don't think Mona Lisa was like important as a figure because she was like considered hot. But that's besides the point. A Chad is whatever is rare, so being fat, pudgy was rare.
Oh,
what? Dude.
So Chad, no, dude, this guy doesn't know what a Chad is.
Debilitating genetic conditions like genetic disabilities are also incredibly rare. I don't think you're running around saying they're Chad.
Bro, if you're going to be a black pillar, at least do the reading. All right.
Yeah.
That's not what a Chad is. Actually, we shouldn't recommend that they watch black pill content, but,
yeah. Stephen Hawking was considered a Giga Chad because of his incredibly rare genetic condition.
What's the one for smart? Because there's like a jester maxing if you use being
what?
funny.
Many women
girls.
actually like guys with progeria. It's called disability maxing.
He got us. He got you. He got you, bro.
I don't even. What's progeria? It's Hutchinson-Gilford progeria syndrome. Wait, what?
Bro, you're getting baited.
He's destroying me. He's destroying me in the marketplace of ideas.
He's owning you. Wow.
Have you read the famous cancer romance novel that shit makes ladies wet as... Bro, I'm going to be honest with you. You don't know what makes ladies wet as... Okay? Like, definitely. Definitionally, you don't know.
This is top tier bait. You let them do this all day. It's you.
Yeah, it's all... I mean, sometimes... If it's like entertaining like
this guy's awesome.
Yeah.
Chad apartheid. I'm keeping that. Oh, Chad apartheid. It's one word.
Yeah. I don't know, Big Dog. This chatter is cooking. Yeah, he's
awesome.
He's Chad apartheid pilling everyone.
Yeah. He's one of the Beatles, dude. That's so awesome.
Yeah, that was so
That's
good.
a good one.
That was good.
Holy
that was good.
shit.
He's resistance against Chad apartheid, and he's resisting by attacking the Chads directly.
Hysterical or hypersexualized, or it's Rachel Zegler. These apolitical, edgy, basement-dwelling free speech warriors.
Twitter ain't gonna be ready for this take right now, but it's okay to be white. Peace. Which is like, you went to the Klan rally. Like, what do you mean they're not ready for this take? They've been excited. They've been saying the take. Yeah, guys. I went to the Klan rally and I was like, black people are inferior. I know I don't want to be like anti-woke around you guys, but like, no,
I'm gonna say it, man.
They love that. I think
They're not gonna like it.
Yeah, they do like it. Also, what is up with these nails, man? Oh, gross. His nails are so busted. It looks like AI art.
Yeah.
Just want to protect the last sacred safe space for men. A place
that a bug?
that's safe from being
Oh,
feminized.
hell yeah.
The last
It's a famous
manly
video.
refuge where
Okay,
real
That's
men.
my favorite.
You're
That's
not
your favorite
you're
streamer?
not, yeah, you're not Asmongold maxing like I am. You're
Yeah,
rot
I guess
maxing.
not.
Asmongold is rot maxing, which women love. The
Yeah.
Stacys.
When you have a hole in your wall with the rats in it.
Yeah.
can still be men. Real men.
And I'm so tired of the world being dictated by emotions
This guy got
and
divorced? Or
feelings,
was that a different guy?
and we have to
he
accept everybody, even though
Isn't
they
his
don't
dad like a
accept
raper or
us.
something?
And this
Yeah.
new era is just
That's
a
awesome.
bunch of pussy limp dick.
No, he had sexual assault allegations against him from, I think, his, like, I don't know the full details, but he's just like a weird, creepy guy, right? But then he came at me one time and was like, my dad didn't fight to protect free speech so you could do free speech, basically, something along those lines. So Twitter found out that his dad was like a super famous sex pest in the military, so much so
You got
that they
like discharge, right? Or
yeah,
something like that.
and
Discipline.
they literally like wrote a new law around, you know, his dad. Like his dad's name is in the congressional record.
Oh my God, he did the Roe v. Wade of rape.
Yeah, and then he got like really sad and made it seem like I made everybody know about his dad when his dad was, again.
Oh,
and
he
I
was
repeat
sad.
this,
His reaction was like,
No, yeah, he
This is
cried
so
and said
messed
like,
up.
I can't even like do content with my dad anymore because like Hasan outed him as a rapist.
This actually happened? This is real?
Yeah.
Dude, you live in an awesome world, man.
Dude, no, I don't.
That's
It's
so-
really bad.
That's so cool.
No, it's really,
From the outside in, it's really cool.
bro. There are okay.
You guys are witnessing
You
history.
see it. You see it with like the Ethan shit. Like there
Yeah.
is a decent amount of people in Ethan Klein's community that unironically think like I am responsible for Kamala Harris losing the election.
Right.
Like, what do you say to a person like that whose worldview is so warped by like internet drama that they genuinely think that like a Twitch streamer actually had this kind of epic power?
Yeah.
Boy,
Oh,
This is him being sad
due
about it?
to this all being resurfaced by Hasan, I suppose I will no longer be interacting with my father in any way, shape, or form on my stream.
So, how does this protectors of masculinity visually manifest?
Dude, I'm not able to talk to my dad anymore because of Hasan. What the?
Yeah,
What the fuck?
but it worked. It worked, man. People believe that shit. People like unironically think like I am responsible. Like they don't have the
You are
capacity to go,
responsible for making his dad go rape people in the military?
Yeah,
what
like
the
no,
fuck?
I don't understand. Like people genuinely go, yeah, that tracks. Actually, you mentioned the powerful entity that is Hasan because I guess like I have so much space that I occupy in their minds that they legitimately don't even think beyond that to go, wait a minute, that doesn't really make sense. Your dad was on C-SPAN. Like you had members of Congress like talking about his sexual assaults. Like what the?
You're just doing investigative journalism. They're saying Bana Banata unearthed that. Is that true? I think Bana Banata or somebody unearthed like the Willie Mack shows getting married to like an IDF lady or something, which makes sense. He was the guy who did the big expose on like you with the Al Ali bombing, hospital bombing, right?
Yeah. He's a brilliant political, probably one of the best minds
He
in
just
politics
cares about
right
the
now.
truth.
Yeah.
So yeah, compromised.
You're gonna get a PDF, a pedophile. You're gonna get a predator. He's a proven pedophile.
Who are these?
Yeah, his organization OTK dropped him because he had credible sexual assault allegations against him. Not Dr.
Right.
Disrespect. I'm talking about Tecton.
Oh yeah,
Weirdos,
yeah.
man.
Memes, anime, and pop culture characters.
It's like memeing into existence a government agency.
And then speaking to the internet the way it likes to be spoken to, which is memes, actually.
The left can't meme.
Harris' campaign was trolling Trump.
Bro.
They're already trolling him. He has been trying to troll the city back as much as he believes he's been trolled.
It's epic trolling, shall we say.
Just makes trolls like myself.
I'll probably head out
very
after this
happy.
video.
I am become meme. Yeah, pretty much.
Bro, propaganda back then actually kind of slapped, but now we have this.
Du wirst abgeschossen.
They especially love using
Yes,
Wojak
dude.
moves, like the stoic
Wait,
men
what did he
who
say,
don't
though? I
get
didn't-
triggered
he said
unlike
something
those
racist.
liberal
Reported.
SJW
Oh,
soy
okay.
boys. Which is so ironic.
Wait, I
There's
think
the
it just
NPCs,
licked
the
dog food
chats,
onto me.
soy faces, and so
Yeah.
on and so on. And just to show you how painfully uncreative the right usually is, they constantly recycle the same old memes over and
That's a good
over
sign,
and
right?
over again. Doge, laser red eyes, thug life, epic troll. And dear God, if someone is still unironically using Pepe the Frog outside of a streaming context, it's a massive red flag. The fascist appropriation of Pepe has been thoroughly
we
documented.
still use it in like Twitch streams and shit, but like there are people who like unironically they call like the honk guy, clown world, friend. There's so many different variants of it. The groypers, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. It is crazy that people are just like out there in the real world blasting that shit openly and being like, "This is me. I'm friend. I'm friend."
Oh, like
And it's
groypers
still-
in real life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Kekistan. I remember this stuff.
Yeah.
The favorite among white supremacists and incels, the groyper version especially. But Wojak memes are currently the newest victims of appropriation, which frustratingly is pretty smart. Like, try explaining to someone who's not online all the time that a frog or Wojak could be a Nazi symbol. They understandably think I've lost my damn mind. What the
I
fuck is
remember my
Wojak?
sis-
Solarpunk,
my
Trump.
my stepsister got a what did she get? She got like a little frog thing in her house. It was like a little frog sculpture thing. And I came over one time, we were eating dinner, and I was like, oh, I saw you got like a Nazi thing in your kitchen. She's like, what? And I was like, the frog thing. And she's like, what the? And I was like, I'm gonna just pretend I didn't say that and that I haven't been looking at the internet a little too long. And
that's crazy.
We're gonna go about our day, because I was like, it was a half joke, but I was like half joking, expecting she would know what I was referencing. But that's because I was a little on the internet too much.
Yeah, you got bus driver checked.
What's that?
I always my theory of talking to explain this to a bus driver.
Yeah.
Will you be able to explain this convincingly to a bus driver in a matter of 60 seconds?
Could I do that with the Pepe? Probably not.
No. No, because
see,
it
there
requires
was this thing
you
called Gamergate. No, before that was like it's over.
Yeah. It's just like you have to be able to like point to culturally relevant things that normies understand. Anyone can understand the concept of Chadpartheid, bro. Exactly. Exactly. You walk up to that bus driver and you're like, listen, there's Chads and there's Stacys. Are you job shaming? No, you shut up, bitch.
Job shaming.
Shut up,
job
bitch.
Shaming.
Take a week. Actually, you know what?
How would you explain Chadflation Chadpartheid to a bus driver? How would you go about that?
I was rate limited by Twitch. Okay, you did 30 seconds. Oh wait, I'm still being rate limited by Twitch.
Like I'm the bus driver here.
Okay, what am I explaining to you?
Chadpartheid.
I just kill myself in a video game. I'll be like,
you
I'm
grab
getting
the
out.
wheel. Yeah,
I'm getting out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Jesus, Jim Bros, Brie Larson, gamers, fucking memes, and now anime. Let's make this very clear again. Just because you like some of the same things a fascist would like, doesn't mean you're fascist, nor am I implicating you are one. I love gaming, anime, and Star Wars too. But bro, how am I not supposed to talk about anime aesthetics when you constantly see this kind of shit?
Oh,
yeah.
What another creator, the Cover Knuckle, noticed is that a particular subgenre of anime is especially popular in these circles. Mo anime girls. Cute, innocent, mostly underage, sometimes sexualized anime girls. Now, we're getting into the really weird stuff. Putting aside the pedo vibes, this kind of cutesy aesthetic whitewashes all meaning. Suddenly, friendly fascism becomes quite literal. Anime aesthetics are perfect for whitewashing, softening or trivializing imagery that would normally be seen as up. It once again shields itself behind irony and dark.
I'm sorry, what the was that anime? That's a real anime? Girls und Panzer TV series?
Wait, that company is like a real
No,
animation.
Bandai is real. Yeah. No, this is legit.
Girls
what the
und
is
Panzer?
Girls und Panzer? They're living tanks? What?
Oh, that's awesome.
Girls in Panzer is a popular 2012 Japanese anime series about a high school where girls participate in a sport called Sensha Do, or tankery, which involves driving and fighting with tanks. The story centers around Miho Nishizumi, who tries to avoid tankery but ends up leading her school's team to compete in a national tournament. The show blends cute anime-style characters with World War II era tanks, creating a unique and engaging experience. This is
AI summary.
AI summary.
You gotta turn that off.
I don't know how
I
to
don't
turn
think
it
you
off.
can turn. I think
no,
you have to
I
enter
didn't
something
used
in the
to have
search.
it. I didn't used to have it for the longest time, and now it's just like automatically
Google?
puts it. It's so annoying.
Apparently, you can type something to turn it off, but like, who's doing that?
Yeah, it's minus AI. It's about high schoolers using World War II armored infantry vehicles shooting blanks as a sport.
Oh, that's fine. So it's not like a but aesthetic. I get why he's putting that in the video for aesthetically.
So there's got to be like Nazi shit in this, right? Am I crazy? It's actually great.
It's like a sports anime.
Oh, there is no Nazi shit. It's not inherently problematic, but problematic people love it. Oh.
For the aesthetic, that makes sense.
Japan has an issue with making media that completely ignores the horrors of World War II. I don't know if they're ignoring it. I think it's deliberate that they're doing that, considering that they also contributed to the horrors of World War II in spectacular fashion.
What'd they do?
Just some stuff.
Normally be seen as up. It once again shields itself behind irony and dark humor to delegitimize criticism. This entire nerdy online bubble is so bizarrely fascinating to watch because they're so hyper online, so niche that even the people who agree with the ideology still find them ultra weird.
Yeah, biological value to create human offspring. Exactly. Like that's a lot of women have like an intrinsic innate value because they can have kids. And so whenever they're older and they're not able to have kids, or for whatever reason, that's not really as viable, then their biological value goes down.
That's crazy. Talking about biology while you're a biological weapon, dude.
Biohazard, bro. This is, I don't even believe what
That's
I'm
my
seeing.
king, dude. That's my favorite content creator. Let's go.
In the eyes of a lot of guys. That's it.
In the eyes of a lot
Yeah,
of
but use
guys.
their whole selling point.
Based.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, the kid from The Last of Us isn't f***able enough for us anymore. Hollywood's got every Weinstein left. Like, listen to yourself.
The movie stars are not as attractive anymore. I think women got uglier in movies ever since Harvey Weinstein left.
Yo, that's almost Andrew Tate level bar.
Games and movies aren't dying or under threat because of black Jewish trans women who are over 18 who don't want to fuck, or Brie Larson or pronouns. You are being manipulated and used by greedy corporations, grifters, and politicians, and you don't even realize it. This can't get any stupider, right?
Okay, I'll be real, guys. Listen, I'm Jewish. You guys know that. Hitler was a great leader. What he did was wrong. I obviously but he was a good leader.
What does a fascist mean?
It means you are.
I don't know. Did they actually go to Auschwitz together, chat?
Is that real?
This clip is my favorite clip of all time.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah.
Did they actually go to Auschwitz together?
Assisted, or he like couldn't pronounce it.
He's gonna do it right now. Ultra analyst.
They didn't go, or they did. Either way, that graphic is insane. The like hip hop updates daily green font.
A far right authorization on ultranalytic. Oh my God!
Yeah, this definitely needs a whole video of its own.
Oh god. That's why I keep trying to tell people, like, people still talk about like racialized terms, but white supremacy's champions right now are DEI. Okay, they're DEI. Like, white supremacy is wokeified. I don't think people understand that. And they have loyal servants that no longer resemble what you would have thought in the like what they would look like in, like, I don't know, even in the 60s. Okay? Like, it's crazy, but it's true.
Yeah, I mean, I think the
racism has never been this diverse. Exactly. I mean, it's
the online white supremacist movement. Certainly, it, you know, Candace Owens can grift a little easier. Fuentes can grift a little easier. I think he's just like straight up like.
Your take is delusional. First of all, it's being hard carried by dudes in India and like Bangladesh on Twitter. Okay, that's number one. Like, almost every single one of those like protecting the West accounts are straight up from the global South. And I can't even hate on them that much because, like, one, they're brown, okay? But also they're making money. You know what I mean? Like, they're making real money. That's like you're feeding your family doing that. Okay? They're farming dumbass Westerners to make money, to make real money, like consequential money that would help them.
What's that Zionist account that's like a wolf, like an AI wolf?
Yeah, the
and
one
it's like based
Uttar
in,
Pradesh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always see Muin Ravani like replying to it and being
what
like,
is it?
why are you tweeting this late?
Vivid, something vivid.
Vivid princess or something. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, they're
Vivid.
attacking us right now.
Vivid prowess. Yeah.
Vivid
That's
prowess.
one of my favorites.
Yeah, pro-Israel and pro-white supremacists. Yeah, most of that shit is like botted. But there's a drift towards fashion being a racially indiscriminate doctrine that promotes hate towards an other rather than just any brown people. No, but it still very much promotes hate towards any brown people. It's just weirdly enough being championed by people who are not.
I think like with the
who are
Candace
not
Owens, like the anti-Semit, that's her biggest thing probably, right? The anti-Semitism, like at least right now. I mean, along with a lot of other stuff, but she's getting, you know, there's like kind of like what, a coalition of white supremacists and like people like Candace Owens, who is also a white supremacist. It's like, I don't see color, I just hate Jews kind of thing.
Yeah. But then there's also like fascism has diversified is my point. It's not like,
it's representative.
It's not just and even people who like agree with this shit, especially online. Maybe because like online, no one knows what the color of your skin is. So maybe that's the reason why a lot of people feel safe in these communities, even though they're like black or brown.
Oh, on their like on their burners or whatever. Or yeah, just
not even on their
social media.
burners, just like whatever account they use that they just like don't post photos on.
Yeah.
Like I'm willing to bet that there are more black and brown people in like existing fascist movements right now than ever before, than at any other point in time. 100%. Like there was a black white supremacist school shooter, man. Like that's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's crazy. That's unheard of. Okay.
Somebody said the Jubilee video. Yeah, there was like a few like people of color that were being racist to Mehdi Hasan. Was that right? I didn't watch it. I can't do those. I just can't. I just saw some clips.
Bringing the light for all to see. No more tunnels, no more fear. Trump Gaza is finally here.
Man.
Trump Gaza shining bright. Golden future, a brand new life. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza, #1. Trump Gaza shining bright. Golden future, a brand new life. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza, #1.
This is unsurprisingly the wet dream of the far right. Unoriginal, appropriative, and hostile. AI is the pinnacle of all of it, not a shred of originality or creativity. So, of course, fascists love using it. What a lot of people notice especially, politicized AI slop is almost exclusively used by right-wing actors.
Oh yeah.
But why? Writer Gareth Watkins argues that generative AI models primarily attacks copywriters, graphic designers, or artists, jobs associated with young, educated, urban, and often left-leaning workers. Imagine the White House hiring an artist to giblify an crying immigrant getting handcuffed by ICE agents. Ridiculousness aside, why should they waste any state resources when they can do this for free? There isn't just an utter contempt for art in general, but also for people and labor, creating depthless imagery that yields only the reading that its creator intended. No room for interpretation.
Hey, artists, that, but also they love AI art because every single thing that they get mad about, they hallucinate. It's not real.
Yeah.
So there's no real world example that they can point to. So why is there any need for a real world example when you can just make it up? That's it. That's the reason. That is one of the biggest reasons why fascists love doing that shit, because you can't really point to anything in the real world that if your gripes are completely made up.
It's like that Katie Watkins tweet where she draws the target on her forehead.
Katie Hopkins,
Katie Hopkins, yeah.
This is what it feels like to be a white woman right now, a white conservative woman in England right now. And it's like, yeah, it's a perfect analogy because you put that fake target on your head to take this photo. Or the meme of like the little girl with a boot on her neck crying, but it's like, but if you expand on it, it's her. She's like putting it on her neck herself.
Oh, like her arm. Yeah.
Patience, self-reflection, or any value that typically comes from actual art. Grok, is this true? One of the reasons why I called Nazi art soulless and empty in meaning in my previous video is their absence of soul and thought-provoking avant-garde bravery, like the Italian futurists had. They instead insisted on the same heroic romantic.
That's nice when Hitler's paintings came on, dude.
Speaking as an editor, when he cut the Hitler audio in as a response to Grok.
Oh yeah,
that's a good joke. That's a nice editing joke. Damn it.
I see.
Hi H3 Reddit. Hi, wherever this is going.
You got God, bitch. You got God.
Conservative optics that were close to classical Greek and Roman art. The same realist classicist slop over and over again, reproduced to death.
That's my favorite
using
emote,
art as a politicized weapon to reinforce norms and natural myths into society.
So
but
good.
hey, at least
I went to an exhibit in where was it? Oh, in France, about all of the Jewish art that the Nazis had like basically banned, but then they realized that like they can make money off of it, so they sold it anyway.
Oh yeah,
even though it was degenerate,
right? And Hitler's paintings suck shit, right? That's what.
Oh
they say.
yeah. I mean, they were ass. He couldn't make it the art. He couldn't cut it in our school.
actual skilled artist was involved in the making of those pieces. And as flat and propagandizing the art maybe was, at least it looked good. And Leni Riefenstahl is to this day being taught in film schools. Where are foreign artists now? Today, the same reproduction of politicized art can be made at mass scale, without the use of any artists whatsoever. The right-wing aesthetic project is to flood the zone with bullshit in order to erode the intellectual foundations for resisting political cruelty. AI co-ops art and is perverting it. The ultimate
okay
weapon
to be
of aestheticization. The original artworks the AI models are endlessly and
The craziest part about it is that they just ripped Studio Ghibli, and Miyazaki is like a dedicated anti-fascist. Sure, not the nicest guy, but like his entire life's work is like talking about how constant need for consumption and like militarism is ruining the planet. And now these things that they're using, they ripped his style to recreate, and he's a major AI hater too.
Right.
They ripped his style and they recreated these things. And it's literally ruining the planet. Like it's like melting the rainforest in order to make this idiotic thing. It's just such a, I've never seen something so up about like so disrespectful to a person's legacy.
Cause like, like the idea that Miyazaki would make this frame as a way to show that they're cool and good, which is why they made this image.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
And also the reason why, the reason and the ways, in order to create this image, you have to literally use so much energy.
Yeah.
And ruin the planet, which is antithetical to his worldview and antithetical to everything he has ever done.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're not thinking that far ahead.
Therefore softened, diluted, until the substance of the original piece is completely rinsed out. Historical events, fascist ideologies, even war crimes or genocidal fantasies are being transformed into superficial, aestheticized content. Everything is made beautiful. The obscene is being normalized. Everything becomes Tumblr core slop. And we're still in the very early stages of AI content. The pinnacle will be deepfakes. Once deepfakes become normalized, we'll have reached the final stage of total meaninglessness. Deepfakes are the ultimate tool of oppression.
In a September 2019 survey, researchers at DeepTrace found that of the deepfake videos they could identify online, 96% were pornographic.
Actually, no, I'll talk about it after.
It's going to get real ugly. Memes, AI slop, pronouns, like, we've lost our sense of shame.
Pronouns?
Nothing
pronouns.
is obscene anymore. And if anyone gets offended, just say it was edgy, ironic humor. At least fascists in the past had the f***ing balls to be honest about it.
You're a little bit more than a far-right Republican. Hey, what can I say? I think you can say I'm a fascist. Yeah, I am. Listen to me. I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal experience.
Get the hell out.
I don't even like... I should get the hell out.
Yes.
Why? I don't want you here.
Has our reality really become Reddit? Or worse, 4chan? Look at this clown and tell me he's not the embodiment of Reddit. But Musk and Trump are just symptoms of our time. A mirror reflecting how the world works. Narcissistic rich white men grifting their way to the top only to hoard even more wealth and power for themselves. The most powerful country on earth is now basically a content house. Everything is content now. A spectacle. Masking politics through optics and emotionalization in order to make it suitable for mass consumption. We truly live in the dumbest timeline imaginable.
Have they trained alligators to actually hunt the inmates? Is Tom Homan riding around in a fan boat? Is Donald Trump in the watchtower with a pair of binoculars?
And the worst part, it works. Turning everything into ironic, memeable content has made everything meaningless. The restraints on fascist rhetoric are gone.
It's true.
The previously unthinkable is now normalized.
Yeah.
No shame, no consequences.
It's like that Sydney Sweeney thing, right?
And no wonder no one takes you
dog
seriously
whistle.
when you call something fascist.
Just dropping it.
Because you're right, it has lost its meaning.
Well, it's partly because everything is fascist.
Is the point. One key aspect of
a
friendly
registered
fascism
Republican, by the way, was verified. Yeah, I saw that. BuzzFeed found out that Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican 2024. Yeah.
Is the distraction from class war to culture war. Because we remembered. Fascist victimhood drives away from material conditions to a narrative that's mostly based on emotions, scapegoats, and conspiracies. And what better way to hand out megaphones to the working class to express their frustrations than with the use of social media? This is the perfect megaphone, as expressions can now be monetized, more manipulated and controlled via algorithms, AI bots, or outright censorship by insecure CEOs. We now live in a deeply mutually that forces fascism to change its tactics. It can't appear as militant and loud as before, that's too obvious. The rising influence of private companies and therefore unelected officials in politics slowly replaces the interests of the people into the interests of profit. Within the framework of friendly fascism, this culture war is not merely reactionary rhetoric, but a structural tool of governance. By mobilizing cultural anxieties and moral panics, an authority-oriented worldview is normalized, one that increasingly influences media, education, academia, and jurisprudence. This dynamic gives rise to a form of soft authoritarianism. While democratic structures remain intact, they are substantively hollowed out through normative pressure, production of enemy images, and discursive polarization.
That was crazy.
To achieve higher profits.
You know, that's the German state made that video.
Wait, go back. What was the video?
Of enemy images.
This.
And discursive polarization. To achieve higher profits, nations are now seen as businesses with privatized military-industrial complexes. In order to maximize profits, the working class needs to be repressed as much as possible to extract the maximal amount of capital out of their labor. Cheap production, higher profits. That means repressing unions, protests, deregulations, privatization, expanding police force, increasing surveillance, integrating the three separations of power, invading countries for resources, so far and so forth. Violence is now primarily executed with a gun, yet, but with paper, bureaucratic violence. Just look at Project 2025, the US healthcare system, or basically any asylum process or unemployment help. To soften or rather distract from a negative image, corporates use woke virtue signaling to promote their inclusivity and allyship. Corporates knowingly or unknowingly help fascist movements to flourish, as long as it protects their capital. Why else do you think Musk supported only far-right parties in Europe? Fascism, with the help of an oligarchy, now comes in the form of boring, bland corporatism that slowly creeps its way into society. Neoliberalism needs fascism to survive. They go hand in hand, because we can literally see that this system doesn't work anymore. Global crisis, inequality, war and suffering are at the rise because neoliberalism is not a sustainable model. The top 1% of the world's population own more wealth than 95% of humanity. 95.
It's a good system.
Each one of us is losing.
And certainly very different than the, theocratic monarchies of the past.
Mm-hmm.
Because God had ordained the leader, the king, to be the king, to hold on to all the power and all the wealth, and then he would hand select his lords, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas now we have meritocracy, which means those guys actually deserve it.
They earned it. They
deserve it. They earned it.
They grinded hard enough to become God.
Yeah. It's a very different. Now you might say, because you're uninitiated, silly, stupid, socialist, woke, gay, whatever, and go, well, what difference does it make? One had the probability of being born in the right family and become like the hold on to the heavens mandate, and the other was born into the appropriate zip code and had a sequence of events that allowed them to prosper this much and were ruthless enough, and that it's impossible to overcome said probability, and the outcome is still the same in terms of material possession and also control over the entire population. But that seems like socialism, or you start sounding like a woke, and I don't like that. And that's why I shut up. It's so much better now.
Losing trust in the system, and therefore in democracy. According to the Leipzig authoritarianism study in 2024, only 42% of people in Germany are still satisfied with democracy as it functions. That's a drop of 15% since 2022. And in East Germany, that number plummeted from 53.5% to 29.7%. Meanwhile, racist attitudes in the West jumped from 12.6% to 19.3%. In the East, it's still high at 31.5%. And around 1 in 5 people are now openly showing sympathy for authoritarian alternatives like dictatorship or a strong male leader. Fascists exploit this by tapping into the collective frustration. They amplify the feeling of despair and offer people an outlet for their rage. But actually helping people would destroy the breed. That hasn't changed since the past. In the 1920s, mass image production became possible for the first time, a powerful propaganda tool for fascists. Today, we see a similar phenomenon, the internet. And don't even get me started again on AI. The aestheticization of politics has proven its power once again, whether in the 1920s or today. We are witnessing in real time the shift into a post-factual world where fairy tales and horror stories with dangerous monsters have become the new reality. Again, step by step, the tracks are being laid to build a society ready for violence. A society eager to restore traditional masculinity, revive national pride, and troll the enemies of the people. But friendly fascism is fading away. It has become more bold, louder, more aggressive. The snake has finally begun to show its face again, and we are doing nothing. We have been completely desensitized. Hitler and Mussolini were connecting themselves to history in order to achieve an immortal legacy that is remembered as glorious and intimidating. Today's fascism comes with a corporate, memeable, ironic wink.
I'm not going to cry a river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a f. They're terrible people. It's not even a question. These people are not your allies. They are not the same as us. They come from an inferior culture that is horrible. It kills people for their identity, and it is directly antithetical to everything Western values stand for, and it is an inferior culture in all ways. It is that simple. No, I don't feel bad for them. I don't feel sorry for them. I don't care. I don't support them.
It's interesting because this was a mask off moment for Asmongold, but not in the way that you think it is. He is so primed to Reddit that he thought he could get away with like what he had seen on Reddit, like saying what he had seen on Reddit. And then when the rest of the internet found out about what he was saying to this like massive audience, that they would be chill about it. But of course, he Reddited it a little too close to the sun, and it unironically caused a major issue for him. Not that it matters, because obviously he has since then recovered and has continued doing the exact same thing, but now knows better than to, I guess, get to that level, or at least like say things to that level on other issues.
What did because you talked to him after that, right?
I did.
What did you what was your conclusion from that process of like talking to him and then seeing what happened after that? Like,
well, the process of me talking to him in that situation wasn't necessarily to change his mind. I don't give a shit about changing his mind. It was more so to have his audience hear
right
the truth and a real perspective. But nothing changed. I thought maybe he could dial it back a little bit because he apologized for it, and it was just totally. I tried, but it was a failure overall. He has since then signaled that I am like the primary enemy of him ideologically, an enemy of his community. I think he spends like he spends a decent amount of time every single day covering like all the drama, I guess, that people try to whip up around me.
And yeah, I mean, like I theorize that the reason people like that don't change is because they're financially incentivized to not people that.
But he doesn't even
tell them.
He doesn't even care about the money. You do it more than anyone. Yeah, no, totally. I do it more than anyone. You're right. I love this blanket, vague, generalized, like centrist-ass statement. When you actually save this career that day, brother, he's a fascist enough to ease the actual load of what he's doing. When you actually saved his career that day? Yeah, that's what I did. I saved his career. He got banned for 14 days and was roundly criticized by myself and everyone else. No, the reason why Asmongold does this, I know this. I know this better than anybody else. The reason why Asmongold does this is because he wants, I mean, he has like real racist opinions, clearly, but he does this because he wants to be loved. He loves the attention and he loves being a beloved figure. Okay? Because like he lives in filth. Like he could be making $100,000 a year and be totally fine. You know what I mean? In the conditions that he exists in. He's not like making crazy purchases or anything like that. He still lives in his own, like, he still lives in the same family home that he lived in. He wants validation. He wants yes men. And he realized that if he like identifies as like a center right figure who's constantly winking at the far right ideology, then this way he can get a lot of admiration from this growing momentum online, a momentum built around people who are resentful about the way that they live and don't know exactly who's responsible for it. So they get whipped away by reactionary sentiment and think, no, it's the elites, the feminists, the Democrats, the trans people, the undocumented migrants, and the like. You're being petty, bro. I think a lot of people mistake political commentary for personal drama. You're being a parasocial little bitch. I'm not making, this is not drama. I'm just giving you an accurate assessment of like what motivates someone like Asmongold, and also simultaneously talking about a broader thing. Okay.
Well, yeah, the troubling thing is that the content creators have the power and they command an audience of people, and the consolidation of power that you can, on the simple principle that you want validation, perpetrate fascist ideas to millions of people. Like, just like basically, I mean, he's fascist, but like for the reason he does it, like you said, like a big part of it is just like a very personal need to be liked or whatever. And the fact that they have the platform means they can command that power. And that's just scary. I don't know. In the same way, it's like scary that like if your internet cut out forever for some reason, and or if you got banned forever, like that, the power that's consolidated from your platform, you still have YouTube and stuff, but like it's a lot, right? It is a lot, and that would be.
I said he willingly. Bad. I said he literally and willingly lives in filth, and because it is the truth. I'm not a fan either, but why stoop to that level? What are you talking about? Okay, first of all, take a day off. You, on the other hand, oops, sorry, I didn't actually mean to time you out. I accidentally timed you out. I'm going to give you a day off if you're just going to be trolling when we're trying to have a conversation. The reason why I brought up how he lives is because, one, he does live in filth. Okay, what the fuck are you talking about? And two, that plays a role in this. It's not like I'm talking about how he doesn't give a shit about making extra money. People are wrong when they think he's doing this just for money. He's not doing it for money. You're misunderstanding the motivation here. Okay, make with that information what you will, but he's not doing this for money. He's not. He's doing this for validation. He's doing this for building a sense of community. He's doing this for having a shit ton of yes men. And if you do that because you have good takes, right? If you want to cultivate a community of yes men over your takes on like Blizzard, that's only going to take you so far, right? But if you just lean in to an existing, very successful political movement, that is a much easier way. That is a much easier way to develop an audience of loyal fans. Can't you say that about yourself? Oops, sorry, you're trolling low. No, I won't say that about myself. And I don't say that about myself because my positions haven't dramatically shifted over the course of the past 12 years. And also, my position is not a profoundly popular one. A lot of people actually mistake it as a profoundly popular one because of my own popularity in this sphere. So you think that this is like a global movement or something, okay? There is no socialist president, okay? That's not happening. Do you understand? If I was actually doing this for clout or because I wanted people to like me or any other reason or because I wanted to make money, I would never have post October 7 come out and immediately said free Palestine. And I think that this is Israel is directly responsible for the violence that unfolded on October 7. Okay? Do you understand? And have never shied away from that, regardless of the deplatforming threats, the actual active initiatives to deplatform, to get also to, no offense, but you're not that popular. No, I know that's my position, dumbass. I'm saying I'm not that popular in the grand scheme of things, you donkey. Why are you misunderstanding my point? I am not. Exactly. If I wanted to be, I'd be a right-wing grifter. That's my point. If I wanted to be popular, I would just be a right-wing grifter. It's not that difficult. You just say, yeah, base to everything that Donald Trump says. If I wanted to be popular, I'd at least be like liberal. You know what I mean? More like confined to a ideological structure that already exists and is like that many people slot themselves into.
When you say that like there's no socialist candidate, like, you know, presidents or whatever, do you feel like your stream will, if something happens in terms of mass political movement, what role do you see like what you do in that?
Propaganda minister,
man. Yeah.
That's
nice.
right.
Wait, you're a propagandist? What the hell?
Yeah.
So you're a liar?
So that's my position is,
what the hell?
My position is like, I wouldn't have enemies in every corner of the goddamn internet if my point, if what my worldview was one that people automatically signed on to. Because I cover a multitude of different issues that persist in modern society, and a lot of it, almost all of it, is actually against the social conditioning that you've been born into. Many people, when they first encounter my worldview on one issue over the other, will actually go, "Oh, that I don't actually like this guy at all." Do you see what I mean? If I was more invested in like getting people to like me as a person, I wouldn't do commentary in the way that I'm doing it. I would just, like, if I was a grifter, I would just grift to whichever way the wind blows. Think about all these content creators that are supposedly apolitical, right? That posted like BLM, pro BLM shit, right? When in 2020, when the Black Lives Matter protests were happening, when the George Floyd protests were happening, they literally, like, XUC is a great example of this. He didn't even believe that he posted that, and he thought it was a fake tweet, only to realize that it was actually a real tweet that he tweeted out. It just doesn't matter to him. He's also unimaginably wealthy, so it's obviously much easier for him to just like not give a shit about politics at all.
Chat, when I said propaganda, I know that it's not, like, people falsely say that they say that you're a liar because you say you're a propagandist, but propaganda doesn't mean that you're lying. Like, I do propaganda. It's political argumentation, right?
Yeah. And here's the other thing. I don't really understand the take here. You don't think you're popular because you feel a void on the online left. If you're a liberal or right-winger, you'd be in a very saturated space, unless you think it's your personality is what makes you successful. No, I am saying that. I'm saying that my position wasn't just like a void that people were like desperately looking for, and I happened to be the guy. If that was the case, then there would be a ton of people who are incredibly popular leftist content creators, okay? And I hope one day there are. You don't understand what I mean here. Political commentary, if you're slotting yourself into like pre-existing boxes like that get recycled on MSNBC or CNN versus it's not just my personality, chatter. Make no mistake. It's easy. It's much easier to be a right-wing grifter. It's definitely harder to be a liberal grifter, but it's much easier to be a liberal grifter than it is to be a leftist for a million different reasons.
I think that, like, that's 100% true. I think the space for like making left content though has like moved so substantially in the last 10 years online that it's viable now to attempt, like, for people to start making videos. Like, I want more people to start doing that and to be good at, I mean, that video we just watched, like, that's a smaller channel, but that's an excellent video. And like more people doing that. I mean, you reacting to it will plug it into the algorithm with all the other channels, and then that it'll kind of work together to weave the fabric of however YouTube gets people content. But then it's like, it's not like, yes, if you talk in any critical way about Israel, you will be, you know, setting yourself up for potential career consequences depending on the field you pursue. But also, YouTube, now there's a space where you can, like, people want to see that coverage because nobody really is covering it. But now that more people are, it's like, it's normalizing it in the same way that public perceptions are changing, which is like good. That's a good thing. And more people should do it. But like, I think when it comes to creators that have been doing it for a long time, it's like it definitely before it was even a really established space. That's like a, it's kind of like the like bread tube discourse recently, like with ContraPoints thing. It's like, the old essayists or the old like left creators or like anti-right creators paved the way for this place where audiences are now able to, like, I don't know, be educated and share things with other people and like get them on board with leftist socialist ideas. But at a certain point, like, people need to pick up the mantle and move it further left, or further articulate the ideas that like liberalism doesn't account for when it comes to like anti-imperialism or whatever.
It's not just anti-imperialism. It's like a materialist understanding of the world. A materialist analysis is a necessity because without it, you are left thinking in like good, bad dynamics. When you mystify class politics actively and try to find an alternative sociological reason, you literally end up in the good, bad dynamic. And ultimately, it's much easier to assume that there are just like bad people that are outsiders, rootless cosmopolitans. I think you see where I'm going with here, that are at the heart of every single conspiracy theory. Jews, okay? Like, conspiratorial thinking is a way for the liberal monoculture and people who like cannot see the world outside of that, in a way for them to like basically solve this puzzle. The conspiracy element is so exciting for them for this reason, because like it makes it feel like they've solved the equation as to why things are the way that they are. Do you see what I mean?
Hasan, you're just a psyop for the Chad Partide.
That's also true. That's what I'm doing. But ultimately, while I do believe that everyone has like unlocked, everyone has an unlockable socialism within them. I do believe that 100%. Most people have been actively propagandized against that position. Okay. And therefore they don't even know that this alternative exists. And there are limiters out there, even in this like organically created independent media sphere, that act as a well poisoner ahead of time. Don't look at this guy Hasan and listen to what he has to say. Don't look at this guy Noah and listen to what he has to say, because they're bad. They're bad for these reasons. They're hypocritical. They're bad. They're wrong. And they're scary. And they're evil. So for a lot of people, they just see that and they go, oh man, I accidentally got duped by this guy because I thought he was actually a real one. Now I think he's like an evil person that wants to kill everybody.
You know what I haven't seen yet is How I Escaped the Tanky Pipeline.
Oh,
remember
God,
how the
just wished it into existence.
Yeah, somebody go right wing and then make a video about it. But like specifically, there's Why I Left the Left, but there's nothing specifically about like, you know, far left content, because you know that's always the criticism levied, is that you're radicalizing people to believe that Israel bombed a hospital, maybe when. That's not actually true. Or
I guess that's what Destiny did. No, I mean that's like he kind of did that. Like he was the pioneer of that.
Totally.
He was like, I thought I was a social democrat,
anti-left arc.
But then I realized I'm actually a liberal who likes to say the N-word.
Right.
And be transphobic.
And I turned that way because
and also pro-genocide.
We're being, because I don't like leftists.
Yeah, David Horowitz, exactly. That's the OG. Ethan Klein is another person that's kind of doing that right now.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, this is where you're wrong. The workers of the West are inherently anti-socialists as they benefit from imperialism. They are labor aristocrats, not revolutionary proletariats.
You disagree?
No, I don't disagree, but I think this is a nihilistic way to approach it. I think the best thing that leftists can do in the West is to basically actively try to get America out of the way by slowly but surely dismantling aspects of global capital that rips apart the global South. to the best of their ability, if that makes sense. It is true. It is objectively true that we are a part of the labor aristocracy. This is not wrong. I don't disagree with that. That's just objectively true. Anyone who lives in the Western world is a part of the labor aristocracy and therefore are benefiting from, therefore, living in the West. When you purchase a $5 t-shirt, that's because you're a part of the labor aristocracy. Who made that $5 t-shirt? You know what I mean? So it's not wrong.
It's not wrong, but the question is like, what do we do about it? And there's really only...
You just keep actively pushing people towards this position. Bad Empanada thinks like I want this to stop at like a Nordic state where the same global forces of capital and imperialism exist, but at least like we have a more egalitarian approach to the bounty of empire.
Yeah,
I don't want that. I am an anti-imperialist. So it's a mere starting point for me. It's a way to open the conversation to people who have objectively never heard what socialism is, and on top of that have not have only been propagandized against it and think it's like something to fear, something that is evil.
Right.
You know, if I was living in a country that had a better understanding of dialectics, historical materialism, anti-imperialism as concepts, then I probably would be speaking differently. But that's not the United States of America.
Every cult needs enemies to sustain the constant feeling of victimhood and revolutionary progress. Defining in-groups and out-groups is crucial in every fascist ideology, otherwise the illusion of righteousness would fall apart. Everyone is...
How is the average poor working class POC benefiting from living in the West? The easiest comparison is look at Gaza. That's it. Look at the DRC. Look at like a sulfur mine. Look at Cuba. The average poor working class person of color is still definitely a part of the labor aristocracy. Is a direct consequence of being outside of the countries that we are destroying and keeping poor and servile, specifically at the behest of this unequal exchange that we've designed around the globe from the global south. We steal their labor. We keep them in this underdeveloped status. Why do so many people on the left point to Cuba as a negative example? I'm not pointing to Cuba as a negative example. I love Cuba. Cuba is amazing. I'm saying that Cuba has been purposely kept outside of the global marketplace as an example.
Yeah, I don't usually see leftists using Cuba as a bad example.
I don't know who does that, but I don't know. Wait, who does that?
Destiny or something. I don't know.
Destiny's not a leftist.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't see left. That Cuba is one of the prime examples of the social progressions of communist systems.
Pretty sure anarchy shit on Cuba. Yeah, whatever, dude.
To get you, to destroy the beautiful thing you're being part of, to destroy your cause, to destroy your leader, to destroy what you love, your country, your culture, your identity, and your life. There's always one conspiracy after another. Belief that strict, unchangeable natural hierarchies exist, based on race, gender, or culture. The ones on top, the supremacists, will decide your worth. If you're a feminist, refuse to be a trad wife, or have slept with more than one man, you are already used and undesirable.
The feel when we control your bodies. Hey, if we control your bodies, guess what? Guys win again. Okay, men win again, and yeah,
bro, the Israel shit really made people forget about all this stuff. Okay, it's crazy. Man. It's like it's an unfortunate but expected outcome of Israel's death and destruction campaign that has made its top critics into political figures worthy of note and attention. And dare I say praise. I don't do that, of course, but there are a lot of people that totally just see Nick Fuentes as a guy who's like an Israel critic now.
Yes, we control your body. It's your body. My
such a low-hanging
we
fruit
will
to
keep
be
you
like
down
genocide
forever.
is bad because they made it the most obvious and well-documented genocide in history that this guy can grift off of it somehow, and everyone.
Yeah.
And when I see,
but that only that can only happen. That can only happen when there's a void. That can only happen when people like literally see something so devastating and virtually no serious liberal thinker is touching it because they consider it to be the third rail of liberal politics. Because the Democratic Party is refusing to acknowledge it, despite its base being like 80-20 on this. Not even 80-20, 92-8 now on this issue.
But in the long term, how this gets worked out is that once people are on board that Israel's genocidal project has to end, then when the anti-Semites people realize that the anti-Semites are just co-opting that rhetoric, most normal people are going to say, oh no, the reason I'm against genocide is the same reason that I'm not anti-Semitic, because I don't want people to be harmed unnecessarily for their race or ethnicity. And
don't you think the enemy of your enemy can temporarily be your friend, even though you don't know the temporary ally is a piece of shit, but the enemy is far worse? No.
You're crazy.
Because if given, first of all, especially in the United States of America, are you kidding me? Are you insane? No, absolutely not. The reason why I refuse to align with Nazis and anti-Semites is because their worldview is the identical worldview of Israel. It's just the targets are different. There is nothing different fundamentally between what Nick Fuentes believes and like Ben-Gvir, okay? The only difference is who is doing the violence and who is receiving the violence. That's it. That's it. And if you don't understand like why I abhor anti-Semites and Nazis, and you just simply think that like I hate Israel for some other reason, like what the fuck are we doing here? There is no difference between Nick Fuentes and Ben-Gvir. Ben-Gvir is Jewish, and he is a Jewish supremacist neo-Nazi. Nick Fuentes is a Christian neo-Nazi of Hispanic background, even though he's a white supremacist. That's crazy.
You will never control your own bodies. Your body, our choice.
This will reduce your worth.
As a monster.
If you produce art, content, or other forms of creative expression that don't align with right-wing ideals, are no longer labeled as entartete Kunst, but are instead branded as woke. Anyone who challenges conservative social values is automatically considered woke. A neo-Marxist, a communist, a beta sheep. This will reduce your worth.
And there was a wisdom in what Richard Nixon said approximately 40, 50 years ago. He said, and I quote,
like when people say the enemy of my it's probably the darkest period, the darkest chapter of IRA history when, they were like, maybe the Nazis could help us get rid of the English scourge. Okay, that's number one. Number two.
Is that where that phrase comes from?
What?
The enemy of my enemy is my friend? Are you talking
No. I'm just saying that was like that was the mentality.
Right.
But also
I'm tired.
Nazis are my enemy, Israel is my enemy because they're Nazis. That's it. Israel is the final point of what happens when you let the Nick Fuentes roam free in society and take up extra space in your politics. Richard Spencer is so brutally honest about why he likes Israel. He's like, he's a neo-Nazi, he hates Jews, right? But he loves Israel. He loves Israel because he wants to do Israel for white people here in America. That's his own words. That's the reason why that Visegrad Nazi was talking to Jonathan Greenblatt of the ADL and literally was just like, I really like what Israel has done to protect the Jewish ethnicity and the Jewish background and the Jewish culture. But like, why can't white people do that in the West? Why are you guys constantly presenting yourselves as like a major hurdle against like white people doing the same?
See that like expose about the ADL and Elon Musk's like their internal official basically saying, yeah, like whatever Elon was saying, it doesn't really matter because he was supportive of Israel, and that means he can't be anti-Semitic. Like that was like the verbatim quote. And it's
I didn't see that, but it's not surprising because that is the ADL position.
Yeah, officially.
Yeah.
The professors are the enemy.
If you're an academic or professor, part of the entertainment industry, or a politician who doesn't submit to the president, you are seen as part of the deep state, the elites, and are therefore labeled as communists, globalists, Freemasons, or satanic pedophiles. This will reduce your worth. If you're part of the queer community, you will be seen as sick, perverted, and pedophilic. Again,
I totally understand your point, but I said this because sometimes I think that the enemy of my enemy is my friend, especially when one Nazi is just an online yapper and the other one is actually killing kids at the same time, in the same moment. No, because the online yapper, if given the opportunity, would do the same thing. Do you not understand? The only thing holding back the Nicholas Fuenteses of the world from being able to do Israel shit, killing children in mass concentration camps, is the fact that they're just not able to do that right now at this moment. But we're getting there, okay? We're getting there in America. We already have concentration camps.
Yeah, I think that like a tendency to overinflate the importance of like online rhetoric versus material violence. The inverse of that is what this person is kind of doing, which is assuming that because material violence is consequential in a way that like we can see, the rhetorical violence or the rhetoric doesn't have the same implications, as in being a Nazi on the internet, because it's just on the internet, you know, maybe we can look past it, but we can't, right? That's seeding the entire framework to the ideology that makes the material violence possible.
Yeah. Especially when the current administration is already doing like 90% of what Nick Fuentes wants them to do anyway, in terms of its like mass deportation campaigns. Like, they're not going hard enough, according to Nick Fuentes, but you know, they're still directionally on the same wavelength. Whereas, you know, Israel is just like on the maximalist side of things at this point, just doing a genocide.
This will reduce your worth. If you don't have a full functioning body or mind, your genetics are seen as what needs to be dealt with.
My mom.
This will reduce your worth. If you're black or an immigrant, you will be seen as barbaric, aggressive, and unintelligent. This will reduce your worth.
Honestly, I'm pro-genocide. Like, it sounds really shitty, but like, I think that Israel should just drop its fucking borders about where it is now, and basically Palestinians can go live in another place. That's really shitty, but like, that's about where I'm at.
If you're a Muslim, you will be seen as anti-Semitic, barbaric, and a terrorist. Ever since 9/11, and now with the extermination of Palestinians in Gaza, the dehumanization and death toll of Muslims worldwide have rapidly grown.
My homie's
this will
like on his
definitely reduce your worth.
No rush.
I saw in Auschwitz that if a dominant group wants to dehumanize others, so as the Nazis wanted to dehumanize me, these dominant group must first be dehumanized in a way themselves by diminishing their empathy due to propaganda and indoctrination. I am appalled about how hateful, how dehumanized, that they do not see any human aspect in any Palestinian anymore. It's terrible. The Zionists have not any right whatsoever to use the Holocaust for any purpose.
And if you're Jewish, you could be, again, seen as a parasite that conspires against your people. The murder of 6 million people, you and the generational trauma you suffered will be weaponized by the people in power to justify the war crimes and genocide, resulting in a surge of modern anti-Semitism. Again, this will reduce your worth. One of the most naive mistakes is to believe that you yourself would be safe under a fascist regime, no matter how much you submit to the state. One question will always linger in your head. Am I safe?
This is a great video, dude.
Yeah, Ben, if you're still in here.
This is a banger video.
Excellent work.
I'm gonna